Jesus Christ, you people suck. Wow. Wolverine wanted to be in.
Back in the days when we played video games, it was hardcore for the nerdy and lazy. Now things have changed and all our video games are also for the casual and lady.
But that's okay, you know the score. We told you a million times before. Playing consoles, not just games, is in the past. And every week you listen to the best damn internet radio crew. It's the N4G podcast. It's the N4G podcast.
All right, it's time. Another week. N4G Radio. This is episode 653 for May 24th, 2021. On the show this week, I have Drew
It's me.
and the Wombat be joining us shortly.
That's what he said.
I mean, I don't know that I believe him. That's not true. I usually believe him.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I'm all kind of discombobulated. Like, I've been trying to get this
I
stupid
stay that
microphone
way.
I was trying to get this microphone to work for 3 weeks, and then, like, I'm looking at the audio capture, I'm like, it seems quiet, but I'm sure it's fine.
Sure.
Everything's just got to be a big pain in the ass. I did buy a new desk this week for my PC workings, though.
Look at you, Mr. Fancy.
Yep, it's got it's a full mouse pad. So, like, the entire desk is mouse pad, so I don't have to have one.
Oh, okay.
So, it's kind of nice. It's also larger, got more space, because I got 3 monitors running. So,
Jesus.
well, you know, I work
PC games.
I work from home.
Sure.
So I've got the laptop monitor for work, and then a secondary monitor for work, and then just my monitor for my PC,
Gotcha.
which is not a gaming monitor, it is a fucking Dell 19-inch 1080p special. So, you know, I'm not rocking anything on the PC side. If I play PC games, I'm running them at 1080p, 60 frames a second.
Sure.
It's fancy. But anyway. Oh. Who
Speak
that?
of the devil and he shall appear.
Maybe.
You were talking about me?
Gotta get the man voice.
I think I have to cover my mouth. Speak of the devil. He shall appear.
Nobody cared about me until I put on the mask.
For you.
Everybody listen to this is like, this is great radio.
The
I know.
flame rises.
Oh, Jesus. Let's grab Wombat's audio and bring it down a little bit. There we go. Welcome.
This is it.
This show has no direction.
No.
Direction? We haven't had direction for 15 years. Why would you expect direction now?
I mean, accurate. Accurate. I think we were about to talk about video games.
Really?
Yeah.
Not like fast food or Doritos or something like that?
I mean, it's early in the show for that, isn't it?
Yeah, we have to get we got to get wound up first for that.
Yeah, then you get hungry, and then you talk about food.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that works. Video games. Drew, do you have any video games to talk about?
Yeah, I guess.
Cool.
I don't think I've been on the show since we started Yakuza Kiwami. Right?
I don't think so. I think I
Think
mentioned
so.
your first episode, yeah.
Yeah. So we're playing through Yakuza Kiwami. So it's weird going back to Yakuza because obviously Yakuza 1 was the first game in the series, and then later on they made 0. If you play 0 and then Kiwami, that game kind of just breezes over the fact that Kiryu and Nishiki have a history. You know,
It's called retconning. It's fine.
yeah, and so, but they do a pretty good job there. I prefer Yakuza Kiwami's both combat and their upgrading system over Zero's. I really dislike the fact that money was the way you leveled up your character in Zero, because it seemed like I was just broke all the time.
You gotta beat up more people.
Well, yeah, but man. But yeah, I do prefer Kiwami's upgrading system, where you just get experience points, kind of thing. So, but yeah, playing through that. That one's significantly shorter than Yakuza 0 by a lot. But we're enjoying that. And then after that, we are going into Assassin's Creed Origins.
Oh my.
So, yeah, we're going to be doing that one.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a good video game. Is that Final Fantasy stuff still in there? Can you still get the sword?
Don't
I
ask
don't know.
me.
I hope so, because it's the best sword and shield in the game.
It is, and you also get a Chocobo.
Yes, you do, as a mount.
Yep. And that's rad.
That's kind of awesome, actually.
Yeah,
The
but
sword, and I'm sure it's a sword that's actually in the game, but the sword has an engine attached to it that revs up before you attack.
yeah, like Final Fantasy, chains and zippers.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Devil May Cry also had that kind of sword.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Nero had a sword that literally had an engine on it, and the grip was a like a motorcycle.
Motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still has that in 5.
Um,
And you learn
Let's
who he
see.
is in 5. No spoilers.
I have not played 5, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a big spoiler.
But yeah, to be honest with you, I haven't played much. I mean, I've done that. I've done Monster Hunter Rise. They're having an event this week, basically showcasing version 3.0, which they say is going to give you the conclusion to the story in Monster Hunter Rise. So, kind of excited for that.
The monsters will rise as you hunt them. I spoil it.
You may have.
Spoil.
You may have. I guarantee you there's going to be another big monster, and there's probably going to be a rampage in there somewhere.
Oh,
I'm on
man.
a rampage.
I love Lizzie and George.
So, yeah. So I am reviewing a game, and I installed it and did the first probably 5 minutes of it and said, I will come back to this, and well, I have not came back to it.
Is what's the Poison Control?
Poison Control is the name of it.
I have no idea what that was when I sent it.
I had no idea what it was when I agreed to do it.
Okay.
It's so from what I gather, it is a third-person shooter mixed with bullet hell.
So Returnal.
Maybe.
No, that's what Returnal is, but it's also a rogue.
As far as I know, it has something to do with you go into the subconscious of people, and you are fighting the poison, which is what can bring people down. So a person's depressed, so you go into their mind to make them not depressed, and you have to destroy the poison in them.
So it's kind of Psychonauts.
I'm assuming. I don't know. I've got 5 minutes into that game, so I will have to report back to you.
Okay.
That's me being a bad reviewer. So
Okay.
yeah, just Monster Hunter, Yakuza, and then I have not played Overwatch this week.
You haven't been on the show, but I quit for a while.
I probably am too,
It's
if we're
just
being honest.
it's broken.
I mean, probably for you. It's not for me, especially on Xbox, because I haven't done enough matches to actually get put in anywhere.
Oh, I like it was so bad to the point where I was like, maybe I should create a Smurf and just see if it's still bad down there.
I mean, it's bad for a different reason there.
It may be, but at least it's like you know those matches you get into, and then within 30 seconds you know whether you've won or lost.
Yeah.
That's all I have now,
Yeah.
and that's not fun because I'm just like, well, I'm either gonna not do anything or I'm just gonna sit here while they do everything, and it's not fun.
Well, maybe when Overwatch 2 comes out and they're changing the entire mechanic of the game.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later because
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched that live stream and I'm like,
How did you sit through that? I think it was like 2.5 hours long.
All right, I didn't sit through it live. I waited until it was finished and then watched what I wanted to watch of it.
Gotcha. I literally didn't watch any of it. I was just seeing the tweets come up for the different things, and I'm like, oh, okay.
To be honest with you, if you want to get a nice little rundown of everything in it, Your Overwatch, the YouTube channel Your Overwatch, is probably the best way to get that. Yeah. They do a nice little 20-minute video just giving you a rundown of everything that they know.
Well, everybody listening to this show is already tired of hearing about Overwatch.
I understand that, but I mean, Overwatch 2, I mean, is coming sometime. I mean, people are now speculating 2023.
One of the funniest tweets I saw, and it's totally accurate, is like, I saw somebody say, "Hey, look, Blizzard showed off this game. It looks finished. It won't be out for 2 years."
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people out there who are speculating Overwatch 2 will not come out until 2023 now.
7 years from the first one.
I mean, it's weird to think that the first game is now 5 years old.
Yeah, it is.
But I did not play any. It's funny that we're talking about Overwatch. I didn't even play any this week.
I didn't either, which is even funnier.
I did jump into Resident Evil 5. I haven't been on the show since that came out.
That game is hard to play now.
Why?
The controls are bad now.
The controls in Resident Evil 5. No, sorry, not 5. Resident Evil 8. What the hell am I talking about? 5.
I was like, no, Resident Evil 5 has bad controls now, and you're like, no, they don't. I'm like, what?
No, sorry. Resident Evil 8.
Okay, that game has great controls. Let's rephrase this whole conversation.
That game. What if you took Overwatch and you put it in Resident Evil?
You'd have Dead by Daylight.
Yeah. Oh
no,
God. Are you?
I'm kidding.
I'm sorry. There's a lot of people out there who love Dead by Daylight. I tried to do that Game Pass quest for Dead by Daylight. I did one match of that and said, I don't want to do this quest because that game...
It's not very good.
No. There's tons of people out there who love that game. It looks and controls like garbage.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of games like that.
Yeah, but man, there's play Left 4 Dead 2.
I mean, yeah. But I mean, it's not the same kind of game.
All right. How about this then?
Play Evolve.
Play Friday the 13th.
Oh God, that game is so bad. I think they turned off the servers too for that game.
I think that game is actually dead now. But Friday the 13th played better than Dead by Daylight. I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody with that comment, but Friday the 13th at least halfway played decently.
Yeah, and it wasn't even very good.
No.
Man, we have some good clips from when we played that though.
Yeah, I just loved how we laughed our asses off every time the opening cutscene and showed that one dude who had the big bulging eyes. Every time it showed him, we'd go, "Ha!"
He looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger on Mars.
Yep, it was ridiculous. Anyway, Resident Evil 8. So I got probably about 3 hours into that game. I haven't went back to it because, well, I haven't really had the time to sit down. So I ran into the issue of I played 3 hours of that game and then didn't play it for a week, and then I am scared to go back to it because A, I don't know where I am in this house. B, I don't know what I was doing.
Are you in the Benvenite? How do you say that?
I am in the castle.
Oh, so you're in Dimitris's castle.
Yes, I am in Dimitris's castle.
Okay.
I have eliminated one of her sisters.
Oh yeah, the other two, you'll be shocked at how fast they go.
And then, I went and saved my game after killing her. And
Wait, did you
the big
call
lady.
them her sisters?
I thought it was her sisters.
No, they're her daughters.
Okay, her daughters then.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, I killed one of her daughters, and now she's running around the house looking for me. And
Go in Duke's room and just leave the door open. She won't come in there. It's funny.
oh, she won't come in.
No, she won't come in Duke's room.
Okay.
He can just stand there and watch her walk around the hallway.
They kind of did that with Mr. X. Yeah, he wouldn't come into the save rooms.
Yeah, you just hear him walking around outside, which I think was more terrifying.
Yeah, because he's just waiting on you.
Yeah, he's just like pacing in front of the door, like, "Hey, what's up? When you coming out?"
So I ran into her a couple of times. Here's the thing. Mr. X is more scary than Lady Dimitris.
Yes.
And the reason why is because Lady Dimitris will not shut up.
Yeah, she does talk a lot.
Talks and talks and talks. It's not scary when somebody says, like, I'm going to kill you, you know? When some big dude who doesn't say a friggin' word and all you hear is his footsteps, that's terrifying. But somebody, all right, if Jason Voorhees is chasing after me and Freddy Krueger's chasing after me, Freddy Krueger's just annoying, Jason's scary. Because Freddy's constantly saying dumb shit.
Well, after the first movie, he was.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Freddy.
Yeah. But, I played a little bit of Resident Evil 8, and I really like that game. They are doing a few things that I'm like, this doesn't feel like a Resident Evil like Resident Evil 7 did.
Yeah, people are scared because if you remember the last trilogy, 4, 5, 6, 4 was kind of like, it's like beginning of a new thing. 5 gets a little more of this, and then 6 becomes like a balls to the wall action game. Resident Evil 8 is very much more actiony than 7.
Oh yes, absolutely. Like, when you first make it to the village, and it's like, you got a bunch of werewolf things coming after you. Survive. Just try to survive. I'm like, what? Like, where do I go? No, you don't go anywhere. You just survive.
Yeah, you're just trying to trigger a cutscene.
Whenever. And I'm just like, okay. And so I just ran around, and I mean, it's definitely nerve wracking. I'll give it that. At the same time, I just feel like Ethan's becoming a badass, much like how Chris Redfield turned into a badass in 5. And you're like, this isn't scary anymore. This is just shoot him.
To be fair, they do explain the Ethan stuff at the end of the game.
I hope they at least explain why Ethan can take multiple wounds that would, cripple a person.
Yes, they do.
And survive. Okay.
Yep. All of that stuff is explained at the end of the game, and you kind of get a revelation in the final act. And you also learn how it ties into the old Resident Evils.
You get a Resident Evil revelation.
Uh-huh.
You know what's funny is this game actually started development as Resident Evil Revelations 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Wombat is not far off, and he's never even played these games.
That's right.
I'll tell you one thing.
Never will either.
Revelations 2 is a fantastic game.
It is. It's a really good game. But yeah, you will get tie-in to the old games. Also, what the fuck happened from Chris from 7 to 8? Such a weird
That's
thing.
a good question. How did Chris go from looking absolutely nothing like Chris Redfield at the end of Resident Evil 7 to now he looks like, jacked up Chris Redfield from Resident Evil 5?
But also, Chris Redfield from Resident Evil 5 looks nothing like Chris Redfield from Resident Evil 1.
True. Which we kind of figured it was just the steroids, right?
I think at this point, it's kind of a running joke at Capcom that Chris Redfield is not the same person every game. Just a different dude.
Yeah. It's just a different one.
Yeah, just a different Chris.
Jeez.
A different Chris.
I mean, that'd be a good Backstreet Boy song or something. I don't know the boy band.
I was trying to do the different world theme
Different
song.
worlds
Oh,
from
God.
the 90s.
Bring it back.
But yeah, I played a little bit of that. I want to go back to it, but it's that daunting feeling of I don't remember what I was doing in this game, and it just keeps me from saying I'll go and play it when I can easily load up Monster Hunter World or Monster Hunter Rise and be like, I know exactly what I'm doing in this game.
Well, you should play more Resident Evil.
I know. I really want to. I've enjoyed my time with it. Looks absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it does.
I'm playing on the Series X, and man, that game runs like a dream too.
You flip that ray tracing on?
I did flip the ray tracing on. Everything looks slimy now.
Yeah. The ray tracing is really
it's
bad.
covered in slime.
Yeah, the ray tracing is really bad in the water. But outside of that, it looks really good.
Yeah. But I think that's pretty much it.
All right.
Nothing else to really talk about. I did want to talk about something.
Okay.
I have experimented with xCloud.
I thought you were going to say ecstasy, and I was about to be like, Drew, this is not the show for that.
This is not the podcast.
I experimented with ecstasy and then woke up in Cambodia. So yeah, no, xCloud. For the most part, that works and works really, really well.
Are you using touch controls, or did you sync a controller?
Both.
Okay.
So the touch controls, there's a handful of games. Well, I wouldn't say a handful. There's a decent amount of games that use touch controls, which it works. It's not the way I would want to do it. But I did play some games that require you to have a controller, and I did, and it is easy as hell to sync a controller to your phone. And for the most part, that works really well. So I was able to do, because Yakuza is one of those you can play on xCloud, and I was playing on my Xbox on the TV and could easily flip on my phone and start up right where I left off and play with a controller, and it's impressive how it works. It's almost seamless. With that said, so the plan was to sit in the living room with my wife while she watches TV. I play Yakuza. If you are streaming Netflix and also trying to stream xCloud, gonna be a little harder.
Well, yeah. You're streaming two very big things down a small pipe.
It's a series of tubes, if I remember
Series of
correctly.
tubes.
It's not just some big, truck that you can dump whatever you want to in.
That's what you got. You gotta get fiber for that.
Yeah, I don't have that. They don't offer that here, so I am stuck with 24 megabyte download speeds.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to
Oh,
stream.
God. Yeah, you ain't going to be able to stream.
Yeah.
If nobody's using the internet, I can. But if somebody is, then nah, you're going to get a lot of artifact and you're going to get a lot of skipping thing. But in certain areas, if I switch over to my, just my cell phone signal rather than using the Wi-Fi, it works great if you have a good signal.
Yeah.
So I got 5G.
You have 5G?
Yeah, I guess it says 5G on my phone.
You fancy.
I got 5G at certain places that works fantastic. At my house, I am only on 4G with like 3 bars, so can't use it there. So, but just to say, it is an impressive technology that I think, if you are on the go and you want to play a Game Pass game, you can totally do it as long as you have a pretty good connection. And they have a ton of stuff on there that you can play xCloud with.
Yeah, they finally put it
Yakuzas are on there.
They finally put it on iPhone, and I'm gonna be real honest with you, I didn't even bother. This ain't my jam.
Yeah.
Is it on iPhone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in beta on iPhone right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got an invite to it, and I just was like, nah, I'm good. Now, when you let me start streaming xCloud games to my console, so like I can try them without having to download them, I'll probably use that, but that's not how I'll play. It'll just be me like, oh, should I even bother downloading this game? Let me stream it real quick.
Or if I want to get a Game Pass quest done.
Yeah, and I don't have to download the fucking 80 gig install for Sea of Thieves or some shit.
Yeah. That's what I've been using it for mainly, is doing the Game Pass quest.
I mean, that's what I would use it for instead of downloading fucking the same 3 games they keep making quests for.
Yeah. God, what was that last week?
Oh,
Plants vs. Zombies.
Plants vs. Zombies was one, and they do State of Decay like once a month, and they do
I
fucking
swear, man.
Sea of Thieves. And the funny thing is, the Sea of Thieves quest is just you booting the game, so I have to download 80 gigs just to boot the fucking game.
Dude, just boot it up on your xCloud, man.
I don't have it set up.
Just set it up.
I don't want
It takes 3 minutes.
I've got a big pipe on my internet. It only takes me like 10 minutes to download 80 gigs. Be alright.
Okay, fine.
I'll probably use it when it's on console, but like on my phone, like I don't want to sync a controller to it because all my controllers are synced, and if you sync it to the phone, then you got to sync it back, and it's just like, god damn it.
Isn't it amazing how much the internet speed has changed in our lives and careers as gamers?
Oh my god,
Like,
yeah.
can you imagine 15 years ago being told you need to download 80 gigs?
Oh, dude, I'd have been like, I'll see you next year.
Yeah.
So can you imagine, like, 15 years ago saying, download, set up this thing, and it takes you like 3 minutes to do, and you can play games on your phone for free, and somebody's like, nah.
Yeah.
Well, if you'd have told me 15 years ago
No,
I could play it on my phone, I don't think my rotary phone would have...
Nah, my internet's fast enough. I'll just download 80 gigs instead. Can you imagine that conversation?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I remember...
If I went back in time and told myself that I'd be 480 megabytes down, I don't know that I'd been able to comprehend it.
No, you wouldn't.
I'm still stuck in 2005, apparently, so.
Yeah.
I mean, even that's impressive to 1990s you.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, 56K modem.
Dude, I had a 14.4. Oh, man. And I thought I was blazing.
Man, I didn't even have the internet until on my Dreamcast. So
God, I remember that.
my computer didn't even have a modem.
I remember
Yeah.
getting on the internet the first time, and was the first thing I did at that age? Go to the Yahoo chat rooms.
Yeah.
Was it America Online?
America Online was big when I got it, but I forget what service we got. It wasn't AOL. But I remember getting on... What was it? So you had to pay for, like... God, what was it? Like, some of them were free, but they made you use, like, a specific browser. Like, when the internet first started, you had to have, like, a disk
Yes.
to get on the internet.
Yeah.
So, like, that was a pain in the ass. They gave them away in, like, all the Kmarts. Fucking places like that.
Yep.
God,
Yeah, apparently people are still on AOL in the
Yeah.
United States.
Yeah, it still
Which I
exists.
think is hilarious.
So, I don't know, like, I remember AOL, like, I think the first game I played online was Quake 3 Arena.
Game-wise, I didn't play games on my PC online. I just surfed the internet. I think the first online game I played was on Dreamcast. It was either Dreamcast or it was Doom on my PC. I don't remember.
Nice.
But yeah, I remember playing Unreal Tournament on the Dreamcast, and it was 1v1, and it was still lagging like a motherfucker.
I'd gotten used to the lag so much that I was able to, like, kill guys before they moved to the screen, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if the guy's standing right there, I need to shoot 10 feet in front of him.
Yeah. I'll tell you what spoiled me on that is I used to do LAN parties with a group of guys I used to hang out with. And when you just play a LAN party connected all at the same time, I mean, it's instant. Like, there's no lag.
Sure.
And then you get on your Dreamcast and you try to shoot a dude in Unreal Tournament, it's like, nah. So, it was fun back then because I was the young kid, so my reflexes were all good and I could smoke all these old dudes. Now I'm the old dude and I get smoked.
That's right.
Sucks to get old. Anyway, what else is going on, Drew? Anything else?
I think that's pretty much it.
All right, I'll move on to the Wombat.
All right, man. Well, I haven't played that much, which is great audio for a video game podcast.
Yeah, you know.
I played. Let's see here. I played some more Paper Mario: The Origami King. Finished the first boss of that, and moving on to the second area. I still really, really like that game, and I really like the combat system. So I'm looking forward to putting some more time into that one. It was definitely worth the purchase. I've played a little bit more of the Assassin's Creed Valhalla DLC. I finished the Beowulf quest that I was talking about last week. And then promptly got distracted by trying to catch all the fish in the game. And so that's what I've been doing instead of actually playing the DLC that I paid $40 for. I've been going around and catching fish virtually.
I mean, this is a first world problems kind of podcast now, isn't it?
For sure, yes. But I am enjoying going around and catching all the fish because I don't know, it's another, my brain loves crossing off checkmark boxes.
Yeah.
And fish are another version of that in this game. And there's a trophy for it, so.
Oh, of course.
What else have I played? I played, as weird as this sounds, some Pokemon Sword.
Okay.
My son has gotten back into Pokemon, and asked me to set up a character on Pokemon Sword to play as well. And so I played, I don't know, probably an hour and a half of that. I think I mentioned before, the only other Pokemon game I've ever played is, I think it's called Ultra Moon. It was on 3DS.
That sounds right. Drew would know more.
Yeah, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was like the next version of Sun and Moon.
Yeah, so I Ultra Moon I played for probably about 2 hours or something like that, not much. And yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's a fun little RPG. I've been watching my son play, and it's one of those games that is just as much fun for me to watch somebody else play as it is to play myself. So I don't mind just kind of sitting and watching on that one. But my copy of Hitman 3 arrived, but I haven't actually played it yet. I haven't even installed it yet. So that will be upcoming. Yeah, that's really it. I haven't had much of an opportunity to play games this week. I've been pretty busy, so that's really it.
All right. Funny story about kids and the Switch. My son came blasting into my room yesterday, and he's like, "Hey, I hope you don't want to play Animal Crossing ever again, because I cut down all the trees on the island and sold them, and now I'm rich." I was like, "Okay." And then he just left, and I'm like, "Okay."
Cut them all down. Now I'm rich.
He's like, "Now I'm rich." Like, okay.
You can plant more trees, FYI.
Well, I'm aware of that, but it's just a funny thing for somebody to just come in and just yell that and then just walk out.
Cut down all the trees. Now I'm rich.
I just kind of looked at him. I was like, okay. All right, then. All right. So I was going to hold the show and talk about Biomutant, but I think I'll just let my review speak. I rolled the credits on it last night, wrote my review this morning. Drew, you have it.
Yes.
Please get that ready for tomorrow morning.
Hit that proof button.
Hit that proof button. I'd be very interested to see what people. I can't wait to talk about this game. There's a lot to talk about this game. My review is very long. So
Can you at least describe what this game is? Is it like a Zelda game?
it is. It's not a Zelda game. It's more of like an open world. I want to say kind of.
Amalur?
Kind of.
Okay.
I mean, I don't. It's based around like action. I mean, there's been a lot of videos of it out there. It's a mix of like melee combat, magic combat, and ranged combat.
Sure.
And then you're just in this big world, and you have these like 4 main objectives, and then you're supposed to clear those out and take out output. Like there's so many games in this game's DNA that it is crazy that you just can't like pinpoint one.
A little bit of Assassin's Creed in there, I would assume.
A little bit of Assassin's Creed, a little bit of Jade Empire, a little bit of a lot of stuff.
Jade
Oh,
Empire.
Jade Empire is a weird pull.
Well, it's
Yeah,
because the character is like kung fu based.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's very much like a kung fu traveling the land kind of thing.
Right.
So it's even got a little bit of Breath of the Wild in there.
Stamina meter, climbing stuff.
There's definitely a stamina meter, but you don't climb.
Okay.
There's no climbing. A lot of loot in that game.
Colored loot.
Yeah, there's definitely
Yeah.
colored loot.
So some Diablo-ish in there.
There's some crafting. You can craft
Okay.
some things. I mean, there's a lot to this game. There's a ton of stuff in this game, and I'll talk a lot about it next week.
Yeah. This game's been in development for like 4 years, right?
Started in 2015 or 2016, so 5 or
Holy
6
crap,
years.
longer than that then.
Yep. It's from the guys that left Avalanche after they finished Just Cause and started a small studio.
Gotcha.
So I will talk about that game next week. Oh, wow! I talked about this on Twitter. There's a series of games out called the Outbreak games.
Yeah, you mentioned that, and I was thinking Resident Evil.
So did Jay, because Jay was like, Resident Evil Outbreak? I was like, no. So these are like a one-man development team. And what intrigued me about it was not only that it was a one-man team, but also that there's like 20 of these fucking games. And it feels like there's a new one released every week.
Okay.
And I'm like, what the hell is... So I asked the PR dude, I was like, hey, do you have a code for the collection? Because I just want to kind of go through them and see. And then like there's a brand new one that just came out. And like I'll write a review of that new one, but I want to kind of see all the old ones, like how it progressed.
Are they all connected?
They're all just named Outbreak.
Okay.
Like I don't think there's like a through line story because I booted up the first one, and the first one is literally like a straight from the top down Resident Evil clone. So imagine a Resident Evil clone from a bird's eye view.
So kind of like bird's eye view, like old
Hotline
school
Miami.
Okay.
Like
all right.
Hotline Miami kind of view, but with tank controls.
Okay.
And you go through, you pick up keys, you pick up weapons, you shoot zombies, you solve puzzles, that kind of stuff. It like even it even mimics the Resident Evil opening screen where it's like this game depicted violence, extreme
okay.
gore, and then when the title screen comes up, it's like Outbreak. Like this guy clearly loves Resident Evil. So that's
Clearly.
that's the first game is like that top down. So then I started moving through the games, and they committed the ultimate party foul of you can't invert aiming controls.
No.
As they got into the third person mode, they still have the tank controls, but you can't like invert the up and down look, which causes problems. And it's
So there's tank controls, but you can move the camera?
So in a couple of them, yes, and then in another one, so like these kind of run the gamut of everything. So like you get the third person, like left, right aiming, up, down aiming, over the shoulder cam, and then another Outbreak game I played, and I'm sorry that I don't remember which one is which, because if you look at the covers and you look at the titles, they all bleed together. And then there's another one that is straight up fixed Resident Evil camera angles, where you're using tank
That's
controls.
probably the one I would want to play.
Yeah, there is that one. That one's probably the best one I played so far, but that's as far as I got. I
Okay.
haven't played the new one. The new one is apparently a rogue run-based version of the game.
So like zombie, maybe?
Kind of. I don't know if you have to go get bought. I haven't played the new one yet.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I'm just kind of going through. I think I've got through about 5 of them. I think there are 11 on my hard drive.
Holy crap! There's 11 of these games.
Yeah, I told you. It feels like he releases a new one every week. It's crazy. So,
Who is this developer?
oh god, it popped up on my screen and I don't remember it. I'd have to look it up.
Is it a Japanese developer? Or?
No. Hold on, I'm looking them up. Oh, no, you look up Outbreak Games, it does not bring up what you think it does. Survival horror, outbreak. Yeah, there's Outbreak, Epidemic, Outbreak, Endless Nightmare, Outbreak. Oh my god, there's so many in these games. The New Nightmare. Here we go. Outbreak game series. Dead Drop Studios.
Drop?
Dead Drop.
Dead Drop. Okay.
I'm afraid this website's going to have audio. That's the name of the studio. I don't know. It's just one guy. It's literally one guy. Like every game that boots up, it pops up a screen and says, hey, this was made by one dude, so cut me some slack kind of message. Yeah, there's a lot of those games.
Let me take a look at him here. I'll see.
All right. I'll move on. I played Just Die already.
Yeah, how is
Tell me
that?
about that one.
So that's the game from the Goat Simulator dudes that is old people. And basically the premise of the game is that you pick an old person and then you got to escape from this like old people's home and then go out in the world and just cause fucking chaos. It feels a lot looser than Goat Simulator. Like, your character, like, a fart would blow them over. Like, it's just, they do not have any kind of stability when they walk. Like, if you walk into a wall, sometimes your head will fall off.
Oh.
Like, it just
Wow.
feels really loose. Luckily, you can just respawn.
I lost an uncle to that.
I know. My condolences. Thoughts and prayers. But
Walked into a wall, head just fell off.
head just fell off. But yeah, like it's Goat Simulator where literally once you figure out, like once I got out of the old people home, it literally dropped about 200 check marks for me of things to do, and they call it the bucket list because of course they do. And then you just roam around the world doing your bucket list. Like one of the bucket lists was to steal a gun from a cop, shoot him in the head, and I did that. One of them was to get hit by a car, so I did that. But I mean, do not let your child play this game.
Is it quick respawns?
It's relatively quick. Didn't take too
Okay.
long. I do not like the fact that it respawns you back to the old folks' home outside the door, though. Like, 'cause I could be halfway across the map, and since it's so easy to die, that you could spend a lot of time running back. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, don't let your kids play it because it is very, very gross and violent.
Yeah, well, that was the only use case for that game in my household. So knowing that, it's off the list.
Yeah, you can literally cut your character in half and still walk around.
Oh, good.
You know, with their spine and blood just pouring out the top of it.
Okay.
So, oh, I think that's all for the. Oh, I did check out Knockout City. Remember that game?
Yeah, my son has been and his friends have been playing nothing but that for the last several days.
It's good, but my question is going to be: is how long is it going to last?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, if it's like most of the stuff they play, not long. But
yeah,
They just play it obsessively for like 2 weeks and then move on to something else. But
That is on
It
Game
is
Pass,
painful.
right?
yes.
it is,
That's
and
what I was
that was very smart of them to add it to Game Pass like at the last minute, because otherwise I don't think we would even have mentioned that game's name.
Probably.
It's definitely getting a lot of play in my house. And my son keeps coming down to tell me all about how all the different cool things that are happening in his game. So it's definitely, he and his friends are definitely into it.
It plays really well. Like, I will give them that. It feels really good to play. I just don't know that throwing and catching is really going to be all that interesting for most people for an extended period of time. So, I don't know. Played a bunch of indie games this week. There was a ton. Cosmic Top Secret, the first one I booted up, and I swear to God, just Google this game and look at the artwork for it. It's something else. So you basically play as a character who is trying to solve like these puzzles, and it's literally a grid, and you go to the grid and you remove a piece, and then you watch a video and you move some redacted text, and it is just the most bizarre shit that I think I have ever seen. Like I don't even understand. It's like a mix of point and click versus like 3D platforming, but all the characters are like look like they're put together with like construction paper printed out of real humans. I mean,
That's weird.
you just got to see the artwork to understand what I'm saying. Like they have big googly eyes too. It's a weird game. Jay and Silent Bob Mall Brawl made its way over to Xbox and PlayStation this week. I played that. That is very good. Especially if you're a fan of the movies. Like the first level is literally the Truth or Date stage, and you've got to beat up the security guard at the end of it.
That was something me and my wife did this past week, was go through all the
Beat up security guards.
I was gonna say like,
would
go
be
go on
the
Truth or
security
Date
guards.
and then beat up security guards.
No, we watched all the Kevin Smith movies.
Wow, my wife would be so uncomfortable watching those movies.
You know, I don't know how well some of those stand up.
I mean, let's be fair. The best one is Mallrats. That one still
No.
holds up. That still holds up.
To be honest with you, I think we liked Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back more than any of them.
My God, did you watch that new one?
No,
It's not good.
we haven't watched it yet. I was wanting to. That's the one we haven't watched yet.
I couldn't finish it.
I love Clerks too, but
I like
When we
Clerks
get-
too.
when we got to the donkey show, she was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah, I mean,
Did you guys watch the Clerks Uncensored cartoon?
no!"
that is the best.
Oh man, that's the best. That's the best in that entire universe.
There's
Where
only
can you find
there's
it?
only one place you can stream that, and you have to pay for it, and that's on
Yeah.
Amazon.
I'm
And-
good.
And of course, I bought it because it's fucking fantastic.
It's hilarious.
I mean, Clerks is still my
Absolutely hilarious.
favorite, but you know,
I can't watch Clerks anymore because it's just, my God, especially with a kid in the house.
yeah, no, dude, you can't watch any
Yeah.
of those movies. With a kid in the house.
I can watch Mallrats as long as I don't. Clerks is just literally some really disgusting combination of words, just nonstop.
I mean, they had, dude, the three nipple lady in Mallrats. What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, but that's like one scene. Like Clerks is literally 90 minutes of just. I mean, come on, the snowball conversation.
Yeah. Also, fun fact: Dogma, you can't find that anywhere.
Yeah, licensing problems with that movie.
Apparently,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one anyway. It's okay.
Harvey Weinstein apparently owns the rights to that movie.
Licensing is a shitty thing in this world.
Yep.
I don't know. The best line in Clerks is still try not to suck a dick all the way through the parking lot. 37? Oh shit. Oh, but no, that game is very good. 0 Degrees is a little. There are so many like between roguelikes and puzzle platformers where it's like here's a grid of 37 stages and each one is incrementally harder. Kind of platform games. Like this is one of those, except they're ice. Like you can slip on the ice and you can build ice blocks. Like that's what this game is. Rising Hell, which somebody mentioned to us a couple weeks ago, I played that. That is a run-based. It feels like you can make a lot of comparisons to Hades, except that it's not like isometric perspective. It's very much this dude in hell killing demons. Except this one really wants to like lean into the Slayer album cover. Of
Aesthetic.
yeah, Like literally, there's like some fucking crazy heavy metal music playing in the background, and these demons are like, "Welcome to hell," that kind of shit. But it plays really well. Like the controls feel really good. I did like 2 or 3 runs, and then I was just kind of like, I feel like I'm kind of done. But I mean, if it was just a straight platformer, I think I would have really enjoyed it. But the run portion of it just didn't do it for me. There's another run, like infinite runner I played called Sure Footing. You play this little robot. You got to jump, dash, slide. Mega Man 8, Wily level kind of stuff. It's okay.
Ugh, don't give me flashbacks to that, please.
Jump, jump, slide, jump, slide, jump.
Yeah.
This game doesn't actually give you the audio directions, unfortunately. Gut Whale is literally
Say what?
Gut Whale.
Gut whale.
Gut Whale. You're literally this old redneck dude with a shotgun inside of a whale.
And you're shooting the guts out of it?
So you're fighting. So there is a hook to this game. The hook to this game is you have 1 bullet.
Does the hook bring you back?
Are we?
That was good, Drew.
I have nothing to retort to that. That was good.
Thank you.
But no, you
Why?
you get 1 bullet, and every time you shoot it, you have to go pick it up.
Okay.
So it was interesting, but not enough to like keep me playing for a long period of time. I thought it was interesting that like you had to jump down, kill an enemy, pick up your bullet, kill another enemy. Like that was an interesting concept.
Okay.
Rise of the Slime showed cards when it booted up, so I deleted it. I'm sorry,
Jesus.
I don't like card-based games.
I don't either, so I feel you.
Yeah.
You're missing out on some great games, Ken.
I just can't stand them, man. I can't. Like anytime you bring cards into the equation, I'm immediately out. It's like I can't.
The only exception to that rule is Phantom Dust.
That's the worst freaking card game out there.
Huh?
That's like the worst freaking card game out there.
No, that game when it first came out was great. I refused to play it when they brought it back out because I didn't want to soil my memories.
It's probably a wise decision.
Yeah, I feel like that's the case because I'm sure it doesn't hold up well. But back in the day, I liked that game.
Which was a Wednesday.
It was Tuesday, I think, actually.
Tuesday, Wednesday, it don't matter.
It don't matter.
It matters.
None of this matters.
Speaking of which, you see they're making a new movie?
I did see that, yes.
Man. Actually, multiple movies are making like, what'd they say they were bringing back?
Was it Venture Brothers?
Metalocalypse? I don't remember.
Yeah, the only thing that struck out is like fucking Aqua Teen is back in a movie, and I'm like, I still
That's really
watch
the only
that.
thing that matters.
Yeah, I still watch that movie from time to time, and it's not great, but there's some good shit in that movie. Like you feel like, wow, you really had to stretch like what, 12 episodes to make a
that's
movie.
basically what it was. But the best part of that entire movie is when the cybernetic ghost of Christmas past and Oglethorpe make out.
You're a good kisser.
Man, that was close. Yeah, very close. You know, you good kisser.
You're a good kisser. Oh shit, I love that movie. Aerial Knights Never Yield. I saw a lot of people talking about this game online. It is a infinite runner where you have to press a button to do one of 4 things: either slide, jump, side jump, or speed up to get through obstacles. You're being chased through every level. What really stands out about this game is the visual style and the music. Like it's very, very cool the way it mixes the music in with the kind of art style of the game. Techno Tanks was bad. Imagine like an old combat style game, but just not very good. Are you looking for a choose your own adventure on a train?
I would look for them in a bookstore, not on a train.
Okay, well this is a choose your own adventure game where you're on a train and you got to make choices. It's called Sunless Skies.
How far did you make it in?
About 20 minutes.
Was the story okay?
It's fine.
Is it like a murder mystery kind of thing?
No, it's like a steampunk, like survival post-apocalypse, and the only thing you're in is in a train.
Okay.
And then you're finding wreckage of other trains, and you have to make decisions of whether you stick around to get that, the salvage, or if you move on, then it gives you like chances of when you pick a certain option.
Okay.
So,
Is there a way to better your odds?
yes, there are upgrades that I will never see because I deleted it.
See, I like those kind of games.
Then you should check out Sunless Skies, Drew.
Is it anime-ish?
No, it's like steampunky.
I understand it's steampunky, but is it in the style of like anime?
No,
Do the characters have giant eyes?
no.
Yeah.
You don't even
And
see
do
any.
they all look way too young to be doing whatever
You don't.
they're doing?
You don't see any characters. It's like a top down, and you see the train.
Okay.
That's all you see. And then there's a lot of menus with text. And I know I sent you a code for this, Drew, but you didn't talk about it. Itadaki Smash?
I figured Anthony was going to take that.
Well, he ain't here. Well, I sent like 3 codes.
Oh,
Y'all miss
Did you?
these things. Yeah.
thought
I'll
it
give
was
it
just
to
one code.
Wombat. He'll play it. No, probably not.
What is it?
Itadaki Smash.
I don't know what that is.
is it Itagaki? And I was like, nah, I'm good.
What's wrong with Itagaki?
He's made one game, and he just really pushes it.
Oh yeah, I sent 2 Steam codes and 1 PS4 code. It's a beat 'em up. It's not very good, so now you're never going to download it.
Sweet.
It looks amazing. I love the way it looks. It's got like this almost like Nickelodeon cartoon style to it, but like I kept getting locked into like enemy attack animations.
Getting stuck in between 2 dudes.
Yeah, and it just like would kill me, and then like I was like, okay.
There's no counter or anything like that.
I was trying to mash the button to see if there was like a special move to like spin kick him out, but nothing came up, and I was just kind of like, eh. Like the art style though, and it plays really well. Like the controls feel pretty good. And it is up to 4-player co-op.
Interesting.
So there's that. And then the only other thing I did was I played some more. Me and my son are playing through Super Mario 3D World together.
Nice.
It's frustrating at times because the only thing he ever wants to do is steal the crown. Like, he just literally goes after the crown nonstop. Also, the touch controls on the Switch, when you don't have the touch, suck.
You've got the touch.
You got the power, man.
You got the power.
But yeah, you have to tap like the right bumper, and then the thing comes up on the screen, and then you got to move the controller around, and oh, it sucks. I do not like that. I think that is it. Like I said, Biomutant ate up almost my entire week. So that is what I spent the most time playing. But I'll talk about that next week. You can check out my review. It'll be up probably a couple hours after the show goes live. I think it's at noon tomorrow. Embargo. But anyway, let's talk about what's coming out on consoles this week. Saints Row the Third Remastered is getting a native PS5 and Series X version,
Interesting.
as is Maid of Sker. Sounds like a Medea movie, doesn't it?
Boo and Medea Halloween.
Are you scared? Scared. And MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries is coming to the Xbox Series X and PC this week. On the PS5, we have a Crazy Chicken Shooter Edition. That's a weird name. Final
Wait.
Fantasy. What?
All right. Crazy Chicken Shooter edition?
There's no cola. It's just Crazy Chicken Shooter Edition.
What the hell is that? What?
I don't know. Then Final Fantasy 14 Online: A Realm Reborn gets its native PS5. PS4 and Xbox One, we have Biomutant. Capcom Arcade Stadium, making its way to PS4 and Xbox this week. Kaze and the Wild Masks, it's probably a physical version, I'm pretty sure that's already out. King of Seas. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid Super Edition. Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster.
Oh, is that finally coming?
Yep, it's finally coming out. For that and Switch, I believe.
Is it PS4?
PS4 and Switch.
Gotcha.
Minecraft Dungeons Hidden Depths. Earth Defense Force World Brothers. Super Bomberman R Online. Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormground, one of 2 Warhammer games coming out in the next 2 weeks. Wrecked High Octane Stunts. And then MechWarrior 5 is also coming to Xbox One. By the way, that game is launching day and date into Game Pass. So, if you want to check it out, you get to check it out for free.
Hooray.
Hooray. Alright, Nintendo Switch. Let's go. Robophobic. Eat your letters.
Oh, okay.
Man-Eater is making its way to the Switch this week. Very, very Valet. Aluna, Sentinel of the Shards, and I swear to God I almost called it Sentinel of the Shards. How do you say this? Mutazione? Skittles. Just a game called Skittles.
Is it spelled the same way?
Yeah, it's spelled the same way. It's called Skittles.
How did they get away with that?
I don't know. 32 Seconds.
Okay.
Capes Escape Game 2.5th Room. It's a weird name. Whew, this is a mouthful. Connect Colored Dots Fun Water Flow Pipe Line Art Puzzle Game.
Oh, okay.
I wonder what that game's about.
I'm looking forward to the sequel.
Did y'all check out the big new release last week on the Switch, which was Calculator?
No. No, because wasn't it $10?
Yeah, it's $10 for a calculator on the Switch.
Is it seriously?
I'm not kidding, Drew.
Nintendo, what has happened? Remember when you used to have that gold seal of approval?
Yes.
I'm going to put this in the chat just for you, Drew. There you go.
Calculator for Nintendo Switch.
$9.99. Yeah.
Click on this. I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know exactly what the...
You think I'm kidding, but there it be.
Drew, you should buy it for science.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
And
science.
tell us all what it is.
Can we get a review code for this? My review code.
And then I killed Dragon
Calculator.
8.0.
Yep.
We've also got...
I was surprised to find a dragon in the calculator app.
Well, what if we had one of those, like, graphing calculators like you used to have in high school?
Yeah.
With the big, like, fucking monochromatic screen on it?
Sure.
Get one of those, we can make a dragon.
Some signs, some cosines.
Hell yeah, dude.
This has all that on there, man.
Well, it doesn't have a
Does
big
it?
screen.
Look at this thing.
No, I
Are
mean...
you not-
The Switch screen is substantially bigger than the TI-83 screen.
You don't
what I'm saying,
remember-
it has all this stuff.
But it doesn't... It's not like, God, what were those? The TIs, yeah.
Yeah. Texas Instrument.
It does not have that screen. Like, it's just got the normal little screen.
Oh, on the actual app, it's got the little screen.
Yeah, I'm looking for...
So like a screen that's too small for you to play Snake on is what you're talking about.
This is what I want, Drew. This right here, one of those screens.
Hang on.
You remember those?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the screen I
Yep.
need. This one's
I mean,
just
you
got the
might-
bar. This one's just got the line bar where the numbers show up. Like, that's not. I need more.
I want to see if there's a
He needs
review
to be
for
able to
it.
do some logs,
Maybe there'll be DLC for it.
square roots.
You can make some DLC that adds a scientific part. The graphs and charts.
They don't give you any information on this thing, like who developed it, anything like that.
I mean,
The publisher is Sabek.
sure.
Say that again. The publisher is who?
SABEC.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Sabek.
I thought you were saying Sobek. I thought you were talking about the Egyptian god of the crocodile,
No,
who seemed like an odd developer or publisher for a calculator app, but who am I to judge?
Okay, so if you look up that company on Google, it is Zabek Ltd. Developers of groundbreaking video games since 1993.
Sure.
featuring calculator.
Snakes and Ladders.
Okay.
That's a game under their wheelhouse, apparently. Oh, wow, they have got some amazing game names. We've got Calculator, Sniper, and Chess.
Ooh. Chess.
Chess.
Yes.
Sweet.
Just called Chess.
Sabek, the dollar store of video game publishers, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking odd lots of video games over here.
We've got this one box that you can kind of play chess, backgammon, and Chinese checkers with.
God, I remember that. Remember trying to play it on the travel version of that?
And the chess pieces had those little tiny pieces of plastic sticking off of them where they were manufactured cheaply that you would cut your fingers on.
Oh man, I have way too many memories of shit like that.
Yes.
There was nothing cooler than buying a travel version of a board game or chess or checkers or something. Like, look how small it is, and you lose the piece 12 seconds after you open it.
Oh, immediately. Yeah, absolutely immediately.
All right.
Pieces are gone, and then you're using like ketchup packets and stuff. This is a pawn now.
Ketchup packets and shit. That's funny. All right. We've got Crying Suns, because suns are sad now. Cyberhook. 8 dragons as opposed to 7 or 9.
That's a very early prequel to Drake and the 99 Dragons.
Oh God, please, can we not make it to Drake and the 99 Dragons too, please?
That would be Drake and the 198 Dragons.
Yeah. Fishing.
Never did find that 100th dragon.
Fishing Fighters. Green Phoenix. Horse Club Adventures. Kings of Paradise. Liet, L-I-E-A-T, and the E is capitalized. Liet.
Late.
Liet.
The sign you would see out in front of a bistro.
Yeah. Mini
Coffee and late.
mini car racing Mundawn, which I know what that is. That's a survival horror game. Okay, I'm just gonna have to spell this out because I cannot phonetically say this. O dash 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 O.
O'Reilly?
That's the name of a game. Did you just do the O'Reilly's Auto Parts?
I did. Yes, I did.
According
Oh.
according to this description, it is an action game developed and published by Art Game Studios, scheduled to be released in 2021.
Okay.
It's literally O dash 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 O. The thumbnail for the picture of the game is a circle with an O dash 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 O in the middle of it.
Gotcha.
Pathway. Pika Minosa, a pixel noir game. Sumair. Super Bomberman R Online. Weaving Tides. A Little Lily Princess. Beautiful Desolation. Color Dots Connect. Crossbow Crusade?
Are you sure Beautiful Desolation wasn't like an Incubus album in 2003?
Oh, Incubus. One song Incubus.
Had like a
Wait a minute now. Incubus had more songs than that.
had like an evening picture of a dock on the ocean with like a dot matrix printer printout of their logo attached to it.
I can see this. I can totally see this.
Sky resembled 1,000 diamonds strewn across a blue blanket.
Okay. You might have taken it too far now. Oh shit. Where did I leave off? Crossbow Crusade? I think so. The end of the trilogy you've all been waiting to see, Family Mysteries 3 Criminal Mindset. Long Ago, A Puzzle Tale. Okay, this next one sounds like porn, but not in the way you're thinking. It's called Love, a puzzle box filled with stories.
Love is a puzzle box filled with stories.
I can't.
It's almost Shakespearean.
I can't with these game names. We got Port Royale 4, Regina and Mac World, and that's MAC World, so I wonder if this has anything to do with, like, Mac computers.
Joe and Mac.
Route Me Mail and Delivery Company, Tringa Unlimited, Wonder Boy Asha in Monster World, and the World's End Club. Whew. Switch got so many games and shit come out on Saturday. On Saturday we've got Off and On Again, Stray Cat Doors 2, and Strike Daz Cans.
What? What was the last one you said?
Strike
Cans?
Strike Daz Cans.
Oh, okay. I thought you said strike dad's cans, and I was like, that's a really that's going in a direction that I'm not at all interested in.
You don't know. It might be one of those misleading titles.
It's true.
So, the sequel to Mom Has a Squeeze Box.
Whoa. Whoa. Is there like a whole series of games about like Mom hid my game and shit?
Mom
I'm
hid
sure
my
there
game?
probably is.
Hid my game. Mom hid my game. And like you gotta go through the house and find the game. I think that's the thing, and I think there's more than one.
Know that there's a
I
show
would
called
believe
Your
that.
Dad Simulator.
I mean, that's true. There are too many video games. But let me rephrase this. There are too many bad video games. There are too many forgetful video games. Ain't nobody got time for that shit.
Nobody got time for that.
Let's do some news. According to Jeff Grubb, Starfield will be Xbox and PC exclusive. Shocker, 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 shocker. What is shocking, though, is it supposedly won't be out until fall of 2022.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm waiting for them to announce an actual release date. Like, there's been so many, like, speculations about when it's going to be out. It's like, just tell us already.
I think the most amazing thing about Starfield is that we've talked about that game so much, and nobody's actually fucking seen it.
I have no idea what that game even is.
Yeah. They haven't even shown that fucking game.
Yes, correct.
I just love that it's news that it's exclusive. Like, they kind of fucking said it was. We kind of assumed it was. You don't spend $7.5 billion.
Yeah, the one I'm really curious about is the Elder Scrolls. I think it's likely, based on everything else that everybody has said, that it will be exclusive. It seems like the smart play for it to be exclusive, but that's the only title really in their catalog that I could see them doing multi-platform, just because it's so big.
I just legitimately don't think they will for anything. I think going forward, Doom will be an Xbox game. I think Elder Scrolls will be an Xbox game.
I mean, if they're smart, that's the way they'll do it.
Yeah.
But, well, I shouldn't say that. I should say if Microsoft is smart, that's the way they'll do it. It feels like they could probably sell a lot more games if it wasn't. But
I mean, I get that argument, but at the same time, why spend it if you ain't gonna do that? Like you
Well,
could,
I mean, it's true. It's true. That's true.
like you were gonna get the game anyway. Why would you buy it if you didn't want to keep it?
Well, because now you're the one that makes the money when it sells on both platforms.
That's true, but I don't think you're gonna make that money back as if you will if you get people to subscribe to Game Pass. Because then you've got
That's true.
recurring revenue. Fucking, what are they up to now? Like 20-something million a month?
Something like that. Yeah.
It's like a ridiculous number, and that's a lot of recurring revenue. And could you imagine how much more they'd get if they put Elder Scrolls on there and it was the only place you could get it?
I mean,
I mean, people subscribe to it
I
whether it
don't
was
know.
on PC or Xbox. That doesn't matter because the PC guys are still
but
going to play it.
well, I just mean by the time, like, I don't know, it feels like, and maybe I don't know the attach rate of Game Pass to their consoles sold, but it sure feels like, at least for the Series X, like, is anybody buying a Series X and not subscribing to Game Pass?
I mean, if you are, then you're missing out on a hell of a good deal. You know?
Right. So at that point, it's like it's almost built in. As if you're going to spend the $500 to buy a Series X, it's almost built in that you're going to subscribe to Game Pass too. So then the question is, does it move consoles? And the answer is nothing is moving consoles right now except for the consoles being available.
Yeah, that's 100%
Like
true.
they're selling themselves right now just because you can't find them. So it's a complicated question. By the time TES comes out, it'll be, I think, a little bit easier to say whether or not the deal was worth it, because we'll have a better sense of what the Game Pass attach rate looks like, and whether or not that series moves Xbox consoles. Because my hope is that the console's a lot more available by then, and you get out of the people who have wanted one since launch and just haven't been able to find one.
Yep, and I start to wonder by that time as well. Microsoft doesn't really care about it now, but I wonder how much Microsoft actually. I think their focus is less sell consoles and more sell Game Pass. Like
Yeah,
I think
100%.
I think if they could put Game Pass on everything, they just would. And there's
Sure.
there's an Xbox box if you want to buy it, but we don't care if you buy it or not.
Right.
What else is going on? We already mentioned Saints Row the Third was getting an Xbox Series X and PS5 upgrade. That'll be out on Monday, I believe, Monday or Tuesday. We're 3 weeks away from E3, so news is going to be light. Time Splitters is returning though. That was confirmed this week. They created a new studio called Radical Design, and they will be returning to Time Splitters.
Cool.
So,
We'll see how it is.
Drew, I've got your next game for you. Are you ready for this?
Go for it.
It's a Dark Souls style game
Nope.
that takes place in the world of Pinocchio.
What?
I'm
You,
sorry.
I,
Oh, that just caught me perfectly. Oh,
I'm not kidding.
Sure.
It is called Lies of P. It's a
wow.
gothic Pinocchio reimagining you never knew you needed.
I
Okay.
still don't know that I need it.
What?
Oh, shit.
The Lies of P.
Lies of P
Just the letter P.
stands for Pinocchio, because he lies and his nose grows.
Thank-
I
thanks
would
for the
imagine.
clarification.
So, like this
You have to
game,
lie in dialogue to increase the size of your nose so you can fight off monsters with it.
no, it's a Dark Souls game. So as you kill monsters, your nose grows bigger. But if you die, you got to go collect your nose.
Oh man, that is almost 100% gonna be the mechanic. Go collect pieces of your nose.
Lies of P. Fight against powerful foes and lie at every chance you get towards humanity. Lies of P will usher a new age in the Souls-like genre. Oh, there's straight up just trailers of this game too.
Yeah, like it's
I mean, it's not. Is it? My assumption is the license is Pinocchio the story and not Pinocchio the Disney property.
Yeah, and they get away with this a lot. Like, you'll see a lot of those movies on, like, Netflix where they're just telling you the storybook version. Like, there's a Jungle
sure.
Book story out there that's a movie that's not Disney. So,
So I'm going to read the description here. You wake up at an abandoned train station in Krat, a city overwhelmed by madness and bloodlust.
Nope.
In front of you lies a single note that reads, "Find Mr. Geppetto. He's here in the city." Play as Pinocchio, a puppet mechanoid, and fight through everything in your path to find this mystery person, but you don't expect any help along the way, and don't make the mistake of trusting anyone. You must always lie to others if you hope to become human. Inspired by the familiar story of Pinocchio, Lies of P is an action Souls-like game set in a cool, dark Belle Epoque, world. All of humanity is lost in a once beautiful city that has now become hell filled with unspeakable horrors. Lies of P offers an elegant world filled with tension, deep combat system, and a gripping story. Guide Pinocchio's and experience his unrelenting journey to become human.
I can't
Line
wait
quests.
to see. I can't wait to see the cyberpunk version of Jiminy Cricket with one mechanical leg and an eye patch.
and he's got to have, like, this real deep, foreboding voice.
And like some impossible facial hair.
Yeah, because
Oh,
Cricket.
wow. This is weird. So, all right, lying quests. Experience interconnected procedural quests that play out depending on how you lie. These choices will then affect how the story ends. Special skill system. With Pinocchio being a doll, you can change parts of his body to gain new skills and hopefully an edge in battle, but not all of the enhancements are for fighting. You can also provide several other unique and useful features. What the hell is this game?
So it kind of sounds like, what was that? The Surge. You remember that game?
Yeah.
The Souls-like Android game, but you could, like, rip pieces off of people and create new things for you. Like, it feels like it's mixing that in there, too. Who makes this game? Does it say?
Round 8 Studios.
What else have they made?
I'm about to click on it.
Yeah, I want to know what else.
They've made Bless Unleashed, which is a free-to-play game.
Oh, the Namco Bandai game. I get a lot of emails for that game. I think I've played it for like 5 seconds. I mean, okay. Sure.
Okay.
Wow, this is really weird.
Yeah. Whew.
I mean, it looks halfway decent. That's the thing.
Yeah. It's just, you want a Souls-like game where you play as goddamn Pinocchio? Sure.
No, there's no strings on me anymore.
That should be the marketing poster right there.
There's 100% going to be a part where you're fighting boys who've turned into mules.
What, you got to go inside a whale. You got to.
Yeah, got to.
Dude. I mean, this legit could be kind of cool. Fighting like these weird mutated fucking...
I refuse to believe that the Souls game version of Pinocchio is cool. If I'm proven wrong, so be it.
Oh, God. I'm watching this trailer like, a rat just came out of this dude's mouth.
Oh, that sounds like the Pinocchio I saw on the Disney Channel.
I'm just wanting to see what Pinocchio looks like.
It would be awesome if he was like the Disney style, all colorful and shit, but like hacking up monsters and stuff. You know somebody's going to mod that into the PC version. Then when he kills somebody, he does like a cool 80s line. He's like, "I'm a real boy now, motherfucker."
This is just like a story trailer or something.
Oh, shit.
I think it's just, oh, God.
Put that on the back of the box. This is just a story trailer or something. Oh, God.
Drew Leachman, ZTGD.com.
So it's just showing Geppetto, and he's making... Oh, okay. Now I see it now. He's making... It does. It looks like a a weird, like, Victorian steampunk metal Pinocchio.
Okay.
And he's not like a little marionette thing. He's like life-sized.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I would be interested to play it to see what it is.
Looks interesting. I don't know what else to say. That is strange as hell.
All right. eBay has announced that they are planning to ban the sale of adult video games starting in July.
What? Like, what do you mean adult video games?
Let me load up the story here. So,
Probably AO, probably not mature.
Oh, okay.
this ban won't just apply to old copies of Leisure Suit Larry Magna Cum Laude Uncut PC Edition, but all games with a rating of X, XXX, R18, or unrated for an adults-only audience.
But they'll still probably sell porn.
No, they're cutting that too.
Oh, really? So they are cutting all that.
Yeah, they're cutting
Interesting.
across the board any adult-themed material referring to the sex, not the violence. The violence is fine.
because
Mortal
sex.
Kombat can stay.
Yeah.
Manhunt 2 can stay.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, Americans are so used to violence at this point.
yeah, but show them a boobie and whew.
Oh, man.
What if you cut the boobie off? Can you show that?
That's Afro Samurai.
Well, I know, but I mean, is that okay? Like,
I would guess not.
okay. Here's a story we have no idea what's going to happen, but it'll be interesting to watch. AT&T has announced that they have agreed to a $43 billion deal to spin off Warner Media and merge it with Discovery. Now, the reason this pertains to video games is that AT&T, who owns Warner, owns a bunch of video game studios, including NetherRealm. What's the company that makes the Shadow of Mordor games and the Harry Potter games? Like those studios?
Is it WB Montreal?
Montreal is doing Arkham, the new Batman,
Oh, that's right.
Gotham City Knights. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Rocksteady is also in that. God, who is the company that makes Shadow of Mordor? The Nemesis system. Like, what is the name of that company?
Yeah, I can't remember.
But- Yeah, they're in that group as well. So we don't know if they're going to spin off and go with Discovery, if they're going to get sold, if they're going to stick with Warner. Like, we have no idea what's happening right now. And from what I hear, even developers at those studios have no idea what direction they're going to go.
Monolith.
Which is always great.
Monolith, thank you, Drew.
Yeah. The same goes it made Condemned, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
The only thing I can tell you is that the studio that will not be in danger is NetherRealm. You know that.
For sure.
Yeah, they're going to be fine. And in fact, there's a rumor floating around they're working on a Marvel vs. DC game. How about that?
What?
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
You never know. They make Injustice. Why not?
But they're owned by the people who own.
Yeah, but could you imagine
DC.
Marvel wanting to get back into video games? They're like, dude.
Yeah, who else are you going to pick for a fighting game at this point?
Yeah.
Fighting game, yeah.
You go ask Capcom and they'll be like, nah.
You go ask Capcom and they give you Marvel vs. Capcom, whatever that last one was called.
Oh, Infinite.
Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom?
Infinite.
Yeah, Infinite.
Yep.
That was
Infinite.
the last.
The one that was
Yeah.
never supposed to end but ended after one set of DLC.
One set of DLC because nobody played it. Yep. Was that ever featured in Evo? I don't think it was.
Oh, I don't know. Don't matter. Evo's owned by Sony. Don't forget that.
That's true. So we can't have anything that's on Xbox anymore.
No Killer Instinct. Wait, that's the only fighting game.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. I think that might be. Oh, let's talk about that Amiibo. Y'all want to talk about that Amiibo?
What Amiibo?
So, Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. They're making an Amiibo of Zelda and
With the giant bird thing,
with the
right?
giant bird, yeah. So that Amiibo unlocks a quality of life feature in Skyward Sword.
What?
It unlocks fast travel.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does, and that's the only way you can get it.
No.
Yep.
They're locking
Ugh.
fast travel behind A plastic toy?
Yeah, and that plastic toy is $29.99.
You can kiss
Wow.
my ass.
Wow.
Are you fucking serious?
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me link you to the store here.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I saw this going around the internet on Twitter this weekend, and like anybody who came out and defended it, like if you don't care, that's fine. But if you defend the practice, go straight to hell. Like you do not
Yeah,
lock
that's some bullshit.
you do not lock a quality of life feature such as fast travel. And if we've all played Skyward Sword on the show, right?
I mean,
Yes.
I played the first probably 2 hours of it.
That
That's
game
all anybody played, Drew. It's okay.
that game is so big.
Yes.
Did it have fast travel in it to begin with?
Very limited.
Okay.
This adds like fast travel from anywhere. I think in the original game, and I tried to repress the memories of playing that game. But if I remember, there were points you had to make it to fast travel. You couldn't just bring up the map and fast travel, and I think that's what this amiibo does.
Wowza.
Yeah,
That's insane.
yeah. I remember reading that story, and I was like, "Whoa, hold on, really? A $30 amiibo to unlock a quality of life change in a game that most
There's
people
no way that doesn't get changed. There's no way.
I mean, they're selling it. That game's out in like 3 weeks or something? 4 weeks, maybe? I guess we'll see.
Have they said that you can play that game with just a regular controller? Like
Yes.
a pro controller?
Yes, you use the right stick for the motion direction sword swing.
That doesn't sound fun either.
I mean, that game's not fun anyway. I'm just going to be honest
It's
about
just
it.
not a very good game.
No.
It's not. And I know that'll get a lot of hate from a lot of people, but man, it's just not very good.
What's
I
funny?
feel like I never gave it a fair shake.
What's funny about that game is like when it came out, people were like, "Oh my god, a new Zelda," and so many people highly regarded it. Then after a while, everybody's like, "Oh my god, I remember that game and it's terrible." But I bet you now, like the pendulum's going to swing again, and people are going to be like, "Actually, that game was pretty good. It had some really good dungeons in it."
Yeah.
And that's just not true.
That's not true.
That's just not true. That's a bold-faced lie. That game is not good. Sorry. All right, everybody else can tune out. Drew, let's talk about Overwatch.
All right. This is the big stream since Papa Jeff left.
Yeah, Papa Jeff's gone.
Yeah. Has he said what he's doing next?
No, he has not made any news since he left.
I mean, he might be just retiring at this point.
I mean, dude was at Blizzard for like 20 years.
I mean, he's made his money.
Yeah, he's got a couple dollars. He came up with World of Warcraft. Well, he worked on World of Warcraft, was like one of the main people behind that, and then did Overwatch. So I think he's all right.
Yeah, I think he's doing pretty good.
So they're changing the game.
Yes.
It is now going to be 5v5. One
What
tank,
is it today?
It's 6v6.
66.
Okay.
So in the new one, it's 5v5. It's one tank, 2 DPS, 2 healers.
Right.
That's what the team has to be comprised of?
In competitive play, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So originally, in the original Overwatch, when the game first came out, it was free to choose whoever you wanted to play, and the game did not require you to be a certain class. And what, about 2 years ago?
Yeah, that's when they brought in the
introduced
222.
role queue. Yeah, they introduced the role queue and said, no, you're going to have to now queue up to be either tank, DPS, or healer, and require the team to have 2 healers, 2 tanks, 2 DPS. And now they came out with this, and they have structured the tanks to be more of be able to hold their own. Because, if you're Reinhardt by yourself on the payload, like Reinhardt's always the last one to die, like, Now Reinhardt kind of has a fighting chance against a couple of guys. I mean, obviously, if you get ganged up on, you're still going to be screwed. But Reinhardt can now hold his own.
Yeah, they outlined a couple of specific changes. Like Winston now has like an arc rifle that he can shoot like a secondary fire.
Yeah,
And it's got some range on it. They changed May. She no longer freezes people.
yeah. She no longer stops somebody in place; she just slows them.
Yeah, and like it does damage. Like it's like a beam now instead of like a spray.
Yeah,
It's there's some weird shit going on, and you're right. They're going to change a lot of the way the tanks work. My question is if this isn't coming out till 2023, what happens to the first game? Because I thought if you had the first game, the PvP for 2 was free.
still going to work. Because
Like,
I could still have a copy of Overwatch 1 and be able to play against people who had a copy of Overwatch 2. I think this is just going to be on a completely structural level. They're just going to change the game.
so are we going to get competitive classic where we're in 6v6?
Probably. I would assume that's probably what's going to end up happening. They'll thing and like the arcade mode.
So, speaking of which, Drew, funny enough, I booted the game up yesterday because I was like, maybe I'll check it out and see, like, if it's still bad. I went into arcade mode and guess what was gone?
Classic play.
Mystery Heroes.
They removed Mystery Heroes.
And Quick Play Classic.
Have they said why?
No. And I'm like, well, I was going to play.
They seriously removed Mystery Heroes?
I don't know if it's coming back or not, but it was gone. Like, it was funny because I tweeted, a couple weeks ago, I'm like, I'm done playing for a few weeks. And, like, I jumped back in yesterday and I was almost like, wow, you really don't want me to play. Because that's all I would play to kind of get a feel for how the game was. And
Exactly. I mean, Quick Play Classic was the only way to actually get into a game as a DPS player.
Yeah. And
Because-
Mystery Heroes was just fun not thinking about it playing.
Yeah.
And that's all gone. It was all gone. I'm just like, wow, no, thank you.
Has Blizzard came out and said anything? Yeah, we're now putting those on rotation or what?
I do not know. I know that I saw it was missing and immediately shut the game down. I'm like, well, I won't be playing that today. But yeah, they did show off, what was it, 5 new maps, I think?
Yeah. Ton of new maps. Got New York. You got
Rio, Monte
Rio.
Carlo, Canada, and I forget the
Wait,
last one.
Rome.
Rome, that's right.
Yeah, Rome.
I don't know how I feel
I
about
don't
this
know.
game because here's the problem. If this game, like you said earlier, is not coming out till 2023, what the fuck happens with the original game for the next 2 years?
You're going to have that small amount of people that are still dedicated to the game playing it, and you'll get the Halloween update, you'll get all that stuff, but you can forget new characters, you can forget new maps. I don't think they're going to release anything else until this Overwatch 2 comes out.
Yeah, but the problem with that is even the small dedicated people are going to get tired of that because,
Yeah.
I mean, the last thing we got was Echo.
Yeah.
And that's been a long time ago.
It's been over a year now, right?
Yep. I mean, you got to do something.
So I read an article, I think Game Informer did it, or IG, I can't remember, about like what the hell's going on over at Blizzard. And apparently people are not happy with the whole, like the Activision changing people.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why Jeff Kaplan left.
That would not shock me.
Like, I mean, you the original team that did Titan, which eventually turned into Overwatch, over like 80% of those people are gone.
Yeah.
I feel like they're running out of things to do.
Yeah, and it's like, well, what do you do with that game? Like, that's got to be like $1 million question within Blizzard is like, well, how do we keep this game relevant while
Till the
we
next one
take
comes out.
while we take another year and a half, 2 years to get this sequel out?
You don't.
Yeah.
You bite the bullet and work on the sequel and just hope that when the sequel comes out, people will be like, oh, yeah, and then jump back in.
I'll tell you what, if they were smart, they'd make it free to play, but the problem with that is if they make it free to play, then Overwatch 2 is technically free to play.
Yeah.
Because you can play the PvP with the Overwatch 1.
And that's the only thing really anybody wants to play.
Yeah, I literally the only time I do those events is when I'm trying to grind for the weekly challenge bullshit.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like this is weird. Like I feel like unfortunately I feel like Overwatch lightning bottle, I don't think they'll be able to recreate that again.
No, I don't think the second one will be as big. It'll bring a lot of us back, at least initially. But how it retains, I don't know.
It won't. It won't.
Yeah.
I feel like Blizzard needs to go back to the drawing board, which I know they don't have the time to do that, and just say, okay, we need to come up with some new things.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Because currently Blizzard has technically 4 active games. While, sure, World of Warcraft is making a lot of money. Always has been, always will be. But, you know, you got Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm, which is pretty much dead at this point.
Yeah, that game's dead.
I mean, I don't think they've updated that game in a while. And then World of Warcraft and StarCraft 2, which
You always
I don't
forget
see
about
anybody talking about.
the card game.
Oh yeah, Hearthstone.
People still do play that.
That's true too. I feel like it's time to bring out something new, guys.
Well, Diablo's coming.
Yep, Diablo's coming.
When?
Diablo Immortal, and 4.
Diablo 2 will be out this year. Immortal will
Oh, I
probably.
forgot about that too.
Yeah, Diablo Immortal will probably. Well, is it technically out? Or is it
Immortal?
still like in beta or something?
I think it's still in beta because you can't
I think so,
download
too.
that.
I bet
Yeah.
it's out this year. I bet that's out this year, and I bet Diablo 4 is 2023.
2023 for Diablo 4.
That'd be my guess.
Jesus
I
Christ,
tend
man.
to agree with you.
I don't think
what do you
Blizzard
think
has
if-
anything
do you think
next
we get
year.
Overwatch first?
I think Blizzard doesn't have anything next year except a WoW expansion, and I think they've got to do something to the first Overwatch because if the second one's not coming out next year and you don't do anything to that game for a total of 3 years, that's not a good look.
The thing is, they've already got Souljourn. We've got full-on gameplay footage of
Yeah, but that's not going to drop until. I would start transitioning people to the 5v5 and start adding changes to the characters in the first game.
If that's the point, if that happens, then what the hell's the point? Why would I even buy Overwatch 2?
Well, the reason they're selling Overwatch 2 is for the PvE.
Yeah, but come on, that's the PvE of Overwatch 2 is going to last probably about 6 months tops, and nobody's going to care anymore.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't understand trends with people and what works and what doesn't.
I hate to say it, but there needs to come out with a new game. What they're doing is they're trying to extend the life of the games that they already have.
Well, yeah, that's been the success model for World of Warcraft. So
yeah, but the problem is you're now talking about a competitive first-person shooter.
Well, let's be fair, has lasted longer than most.
Well, it's true, but I mean, it can't last forever.
No, it can't. And I've always known that. But
I mean, it goes to show you, like, me and you, who have probably been overly dedicated to that game for a very long time, have over 1,000 hours, and now we're falling off of it. I mean,
Yeah.
It doesn't last forever.
no, it does not. And when your hardcore base is dropping, then you should really take note of the problems that you have.
Yeah. I think it's time to set it out to pasture.
Probably.
Let's make a new game, guys. Blizzard, you're the king at making video games. You can make a new game, and it will be like you just shed a lump of gold.
All right. I got one email and then some tweets before we get out of here. The email comes from Siggy. He says, "Hey, N4G Radio hot tub crew." Oh, hell yeah.
Oh man, we're in the hot tub now. We
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
do a stream.
We got to do the stream, but we got our own channel on Twitch now.
Cool.
Even with owning with owning behemoths like Minecraft and Roblox, having a very affordable Game Pass service that Microsoft does not own Roblox, by the way. Having more frame rate boosted games, Xbox is still being outsold PS5 2-1. What is Xbox doing wrong? With everything more they offer right now than PS5, I expected a much closer fight. With many first-party Xbox games coming out much later than expected, do you think the gap will grow bigger? Do you think Game Pass will cost more when all their studios start consistently releasing games? Keep up the great work and keep complaining about Canadian prices. I will always agree.
I think I honestly think it's difficult to tell anything right now because the both consoles are so hard to get. So I don't know. I mean there hasn't been too much yet on Game Pass that you can't get on the other console. So
I think that's the biggest thing. So was did a story come out saying that Sony's outsold Microsoft 2-1?
That's the narrative, and so a little piece of information that I got this weekend was that Microsoft, these chips are what's causing the shortage because of the pandemic. This company can't make these chips fast enough to put in these consoles.
Sure.
Right.
Microsoft is using some of their allocation of these chips to build Game Pass and xCloud servers. So they're not producing as... If Sony and Microsoft both shipped 5 million consoles in Q1 of 2021, they both would have sold 5 million consoles.
100%.
So-
The scarcity is the demand at this point. It's
Exactly.
impossible. It's impossible to say this system's not selling because it doesn't have exclusives, or this system's not selling because it doesn't have Game Pass. Like, it's impossible to say at this point because they would immediately sell out of any consoles they put out right now.
Yep. I think we can't have this conversation about what is selling because of, features, functions, and games until these things are readily available, which at this point
Right.
is probably 2023.
Which is absolutely insane. That's 2 years after the game, the Series X and PS5s came out.
I understand that, but and I know people get tired of hearing this. It's the pandemic, man. It's a once in a lifetime thing that happened.
We hope it's once in a lifetime.
Well, that's what I mean. But it's a once in a very long time. This just does not happen that often, and it's unprecedented. The trouble that the world has gone through, not just in console chip manufacturing, but everything. Do you realize how many games we were supposed to be playing right now?
Yeah.
That we're not because of the pandemic. To kind of address his second question, do you think Game Pass will go up in price? Absolutely, Game Pass will go up in price. Every subscription service goes up in price.
Yeah.
100%.
But Microsoft is in grow mode right now, so don't expect it anytime soon.
Yeah.
So,
And as far as PlayStation 5 outselling the Series X, I think it's a couple of factors. The first one being that the PS5 or the PS4 was so popular. It was, the one that everybody bought. So you tend to buy the thing that, the next thing in that series kind of thing.
Yep.
On top of that, PlayStation does have more games than the Series X does. In fact, I'm trying to rack my brain. The only game I can think of that is exclusive to the Series X that utilizes the Series X is the Medium, right?
That's only available on the Series X, or what do you mean by...
Like, the Medium is the only exclusive game that utilizes the Series X capabilities. Like, it's made for Series X kind of thing.
Yeah.
That is the only game I can think of. When Sony has, they have Ratchet & Clank coming out pretty soon. They got
Returnal just dropped.
Returnal. They've
Demon
got
Souls dropped.
Yeah, Demon Souls. I mean, there's a good amount of games you can only get on PlayStation right now. And when you look at somebody who only owns a PS4 or an Xbox One, and they're really wanting to get into the new consoles, one of the big factors is going to be, all right, well, who has games that are only on that system? And right now, Sony has double the games that Microsoft does.
Yeah. They're both
So,
in
I
single
mean-
digits, but yeah.
I mean, that goes into the factor as well. And then I think the biggest factor is where your friends are playing. You know, so if you met a bunch of your friends playing Destiny on the PlayStation 4, well, all your friends are going to get a PlayStation 5. Well, I'm getting a PlayStation 2. So it really does, the factor of who was on top last gen plays into it as well.
Sure. I mean, there's always going to be momentum that carries over between generations for sure.
Yeah.
What's funny is we continue to have this conversation and Switch is outselling everything 10-1.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, people don't even look at the Switch.
No, they don't.
Nobody, I'd say since the Wii, nobody pays attention, or not pays attention to Nintendo. Because it's always that side console.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing to me that Sony people like constantly bring up sales. Y'all are losing. That's like bragging about being in second place.
Yeah.
Like I've never understood that argument. I get that the PlayStation 5 is impossible to get. Do you know the Switch is also impossible to get and has been for like a year and a half?
Yep.
And that was before supply constraint because of chip shortages. That was just because everybody fucking wanted one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And a quick little side note on that one. The Switch had probably 3 of the best games to come out this year on it.
I mean, Nintendo, when they put out a game, it's usually a pretty fucking big deal.
I mean, it's not even Nintendo. I'm talking like Monster Hunter Rise is one of the best games to come out this year. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, that, and you got Mario 3, or was it 3D?
3D collection.
3D World.
Well, the Bowser's
3D
Fury. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Bowser Fury thing.
Yeah, that one.
Which I know was a remake.
Well, Bowser's Fury is not. It's a new game.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you know, it's that combined with a remake.
Yeah. And then that 3D World, or the 3D Mario collection sold a fuck ton.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which
anything
technically
Nintendo,
came
yeah.
out last year, but I get it.
Yeah, Nintendo puts out anything. I mean, they had the biggest game last year, fucking Animal Crossing. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. Nintendo kills everybody, and we continue to have this fanboy argument between Xbox and Sony. People are like, well, we sold 5 million. Well, we sold 7 million. It's like Nintendo's like, bitches, hold my beer. This is, don't make the sales.
Hold my warm milk.
Yeah, don't make the sales argument when you're bragging about second place. Like, I don't care how many consoles sell. I just hope every console sells enough to continue to make good games on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
My only hope is that we're not 2 years into this console, like the Series X and PS5, and we have like 7 games to talk about, because I feel like that's what's going to end up happening.
my thing right now is I am dead fucking sick of hearing about Microsoft Studio acquisitions and games that are coming. Make a fucking video game.
Yeah.
Put one out.
Yeah.
For the love of fuck. I'm excited about Perfect Dark. I'm excited about Fable. I'm excited about Everwild. But when you hear those games aren't dropping until 2023, it's like, what the fuck do you have?
Yeah. There is nothing, like, what do they have for 2022? What do they have for next year?
Next year, I mean, Starfield's going to come out next year because it ain't coming out this year. There ain't no way.
Yeah.
Starfield? You really think Starfield's coming out next year?
I would put it in next year. Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I think so.
I think we see it. I think we literally see that game in 3 weeks at E3. And I think it launches next year.
I don't think we're going to see any footage of Starfield in 3 weeks. I don't think. Nobody knows what the hell.
Well, I mean, that's why we're
Skyrim.
going to see footage of it in 3 weeks, so we know what the hell it is.
I don't think so. I could be wrong.
I tend to agree with Ken. I think that we'll see it because I think there wouldn't have been as much smoke about it coming out this year if it wasn't ready to at least be seen.
Yep, I agree. I don't think it's out this year. No way in hell.
No, it's definitely not coming out this year. But I don't think you would have as much chatter about it coming out this year if it wasn't at least ready to be seen.
Yeah, I think
So,
we get. I think we get at least 3 Bethesda games before the end of 2022. I think we get Starfield. I think we get whatever Machine Games is doing, which is either the Indiana Jones game or Wolfenstein 3. And I think we're definitely going to get Deathloop on the Xbox, but that's coming to PlayStation first. That's the only reason it's not coming to Xbox.
don't
Correct.
forget Ghostwire.
Ghostwire, who knows when that actually comes out, but whenever it comes out, it's still got a year after that before it comes to Xbox. But I think
So
there's another. I think there's another game that's coming out of Bethesda before the end of next year. That will be only on Xbox. I think there's a third one.
So I feel like Bethesda, contrary to what people may believe, I think Bethesda is finally learning from Fallout 76, and they're deliberately taking their time because they don't want another Fallout 6. On top of that, they see what's happening with CD Projekt Red and say, yeah, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, nobody wants to repeat that.
I don't disagree with you, but some of this is also just resource availability because most of their team was working on Fallout 76. So some of this is just you got to have the people to put the games out.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
And they got a lot of more money and a lot more
resources
now that Microsoft bought them.
I'm sure they've been working on Starfield since probably 2013, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yep. All I know is Microsoft stop talking, start putting out fucking video games because you ain't got shit. Game Pass is awesome, and in a time where developers are not able to get their games out, you lucked into that. Because if this was a normal year, oh man. If this was a normal year of a launch time, this might, like the Xbox Series X might be considered the worst launch in the history of video games. Like that's how bad that launch would be considered had you not had to delay a bunch of games out of it.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, tweets. Isdeen says, just made it to the second biome in Returnal. Died a lot on my way there. I'm a Dark Souls vet, but this game is damn hard. The gameplay and progression is great, but I think I'm just getting old. Can't wait to beat so I can play Resident Evil 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 8's a great game. Returnal I'm done with. But it is very hard. Like I guess I don't know if it's me getting old as well, but I just when games are like that hard, I'm like, okay, I'm just done. Mighty Mookie says, last chance till the Fat Princess sings. Who misses playing that game?
I do not.
Fat Princess? I do not.
That game was not good.
They made like 3 of those, didn't they?
2, and then she was in PlayStation All-Stars.
That's right.
I think. He also says, I think I broke my Xbox One controller after playing too much of F1 2020. That's not good.
Yeah.
Don't Killer Wolverine your controller. Just had an Italian pizza with a Ray egg as toppings. Moments later, went for number 2, so not for me then, eh?
Rare egg?
It's R-A-E.
Probably mean raw egg.
Maybe he meant raw egg.
Yeah.
He spelled it R-A-E with a capital R. So, I don't know. I wouldn't put any kind of egg on a pizza, whether it was raw or cooked or scrambled or whatever the fuck. No, thank you. Of course, I won't eat an egg on a burger either, and I know that's a big thing with people, right?
I actually like a fried egg on a burger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
It's called a royal burger.
A royal?
Mm-hmm.
Or Royale.
That sounds fancy. What do they call it in Europe?
Royale with cheese.
Pounder.
Quarter pounder. They don't have the metric system there.
Oh.
Do you think the game Cooking Simulator needs pet DLC as a giant rat so I can call it Master Chef Splinter? Boy,
It's a cooking simulator?
that went a lot of places, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I could. They actually probably would be smart to try and do some Ratatouille DLC for a cooking simulator.
I mean, why wouldn't you? Put Ratatouille in Overcooked, you cowards. Didn't they put the Swedish Chef in it?
Overcooked.
Was the Swedish Chef in Overcooked, or was that?
I don't remember.
Man,
Overcooked stresses me out.
Overcooked stresses everybody out. Let's be fair. That game is stressful.
Yes.
I want Mario to cook me some shrooms and keep Kirby off the table. Bitch gonna devour everything.
I saw somebody the other day use Kirby as an illustration of poor character design. And I almost facepalmed so hard that I gave myself brain damage.
I can't deal with these geriatric millennials.
That was a great article, wasn't it?
I laughed reading it.
Geriatric millennial.
That,
Yeah.
Like, I saw the discourse on that on Twitter over the week, and I was just like, who fucking
What's funny
cares?
is we've had a definition called Zennial for years, which is the group between Gen X and Millennial. But they decided to go with geriatric millennial instead.
I mean, I would too, just to piss them off, because that's...
Yeah, well, it's where you get your hits, boy.
I'm a geriatric millennial.
Me too.
Geriatric millennial. That's just such a funny term. It's like,
I'm-
who gives a fuck?
I'm technically right on the border because I was
Yep.
born in '81. So
Oh yeah, you're definitely a geriatric millennial.
yeah, I'm the most geriatric of the millennials.
Yeah, you're the oldest.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm an
the,
elder statesman of millennials.
I'm the youngest geriatric millennial, so I'm only like 69 in real world terms. So I can still do my lawn, but then I'm 2 steps away from the nursing home.
Who actually uses these things in, like, general
Nope.
conversation with people?
Not one person,
Exactly.
Nobody.
So who cares?
unless you're a generational researcher. Nobody.
It's kind of like when people are like, well, the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 are Generation 9 consoles. I'm like, who cares?
Nobody's ever called them that ever.
Oh, I see it on
Like,
Twitter all the time.
No. I mean, no regular consumer has ever called them that.
Yeah, I walk into the GameStop. I need the Generational 9 Xbox.
I need a Generation 9 system, please.
How far do you guys go back? Do you go back to Gen 5?
Why do they all have to have that voice for? Yes, I don't understand the reason you have this game in this section. It certainly seems like it's a different genre to me.
Because it sounds like a white nerd.
I mean, that's accurate. Of course, all you gotta do is listen to the show, and that's what a white nerd sounds like.
I was about to say, you want to know what a white nerd sounds like?
Yeah, with
Rewind.
a whole cast of them.
They have to have that voice, though, because that's the voice we heard. We worked in video game retail for years.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And anytime a person came up with a really stupid fucking question, that's the voice you heard.
It's true. And they were usually like super sweaty from having just played D&D at the arcade, and they were playing D&D in like long black pants and a black trench coat.
Well, yeah. I mean, how else do you play it?
June.
Yeah, in June.
That's funny.
Yeah.
How about that Cyberpunk Diablo game? Looks good. Looks like some good shit, eh?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are we talking about the Ascent?
I don't know what he's talking about.
If it's the Ascent, yes, that game has looked good for a while. But again, it's another Xbox, I'm using finger quotes, exclusive that has yet to fucking come out. Supposedly it's come.
Cyberpunk Diablo game?
Diablo is a strong word. It's more just like an action RPG. It looks really good. It's always looked good, but it's been like coming for. You remember all those games Xbox showed at that showcase? Like this is coming. This is like Scorn and Ascent and the Gunk and the Warhammer game. None of those games are out. That was a year ago. But I
Well,
guess the Ascent is launching in July 29th into Game Pass. So you can check it out if it comes out. Because I'm at the point now where I don't believe when Microsoft says a game's coming to their console because it never fucking comes out.
It's on Steam for July 29th, 2021.
Yeah. That's supposedly when it's coming to Xbox as well. Like, you remember Tunic?
No.
what?
The Zelda Fox game that Microsoft showed off like 3 years ago?
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, that's
I
how long
believe
it's
you,
been.
but I don't remember it.
That's how long it's been. Fucking put out a game.
Remember that game Atomic Hearts?
Yeah, Atomic Hearts.
Oh yeah, that game looks great.
Yeah.
What about Flight Simulator for the Xbox?
Last time I saw Atomic Heart, 2 years ago?
Somebody tweeted at me the other day a new trailer that came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they sent it to me and I watched it. And I'm like, God, I want to play this game, but I do not want to keep watching this game because it's never coming out.
Yeah, it does look good. It looks like kind of like BioShock.
Yeah.
But Dead Island 2, apparently that's still in the works.
Okay.
Anthony, Mighty Mookie sent a question for Anthony, so maybe I'll hold that till next week. Joseph says, hey guys, what's the craziest unhealthy deep fried food you've ever had at a state fair? I always wanted to try deep fried butter, but always stuck deep fried Oreos and Reese's Cups.
Yeah, I mean, I think deep fried Oreos is the only one I've really had. Most of the time at the state fair, I'm gonna get a funnel cake.
Funnel cake. Yeah.
Funnel cake is just delicious.
Funnel cake's the bomb.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really go to fairs.
I don't either, and when I go, I don't really eat anything because you're walking around sweating your balls off all day, and it's just gonna make you sick.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm that guy that will eat like the most unhealthy shit, but whenever I go to a fair, I've never done any of the deep fried, like candy bars or butter or anything.
Right.
Candy
So,
bars.
all right. So here's a better, or I wouldn't say better question. Here's a question for you. What do you think is the most unhealthy thing you've ever eaten?
The most unhealthy thing I've ever eaten?
No. Is it that Heart Attack Cafe you went to?
I didn't go.
Oh, I thought you said you went.
No, I was going to. We were supposed to go, and then like
You got pissed drunk.
I don't think it was that. I think it was like we were trying to get everybody together, and then nobody was ready to go, and then like we couldn't get a taxi out of the town. I can't remember what it was, but we didn't go there.
Yeah, I just walked past the Heart Attack Cafe. I never actually went in there.
I mean, I'm gonna be real honest with you. The meal I had last night was about as unhealthy as I've eaten in a long time, and I can't believe I finished it.
What was it?
I ordered a triple cheeseburger from Wendy's
Good Lord.
with a side of cheese fries, and I'm
Wow.
pretty sure my heart stopped for about 3 minutes. I have ordered that triple several times, and I do it almost as like a joke nowadays because I've never actually finished it because it's just an ungodly amount of beef.
Yeah.
But I finished it last night. I must have been starving, and I don't
You
know.
remember
I don't
the
know how.
BK Stacker?
Stacker went up to
Yeah.
4, right? Was it 4?
I'm pretty sure I went up to 4.
4 is just like, how do you even get that in your mouth?
Yeah. I used to love the BK Stackers.
I don't know.
I mean, so much fast food is unhealthy. I don't know that I can quantify the unhealthiest thing.
I
that
can't.
I've
I
ever
can't.
eaten.
I can't eat most fast food anymore. It's just disgusting.
I can tell you probably the most unhealthy thing I've ever eaten. It was like they call them gastropubs. You know what I'm talking about when I say that?
Mhm.
And I had like a nice big stout, and on the menu there was had different types of burgers. I want to get a burger, and they said the chef's choice burger, which was the chef will make the burger for you and make it how. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. So I did the chef's choice burger. This monstrosity that came out that they brought to me, it had all sorts of crap on it, including peanut butter.
Oh God.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to eat it. This thing was huge. And that was when my wife said, we're never coming back here again.
I've seen the what was that? Was that the Twilight Zone movie where the kid had burgers with peanut butter on them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean it's.
Yeah, they sell those at a lot of different places.
I mean,
Yeah,
I know a lot of
those-
people like them, but to me, it just makes my stomach turn.
Most of the time they're called the Elvis.
Yeah, I just.
The
Oh my.
yeah. I'm trying to think of something unhealthy that I would have eaten.
I mean, I've eaten a lot of unhealthy shit in my life.
Well,
But
same. I mean, it's just hard to. That's what I'm saying. It's hard to quantify. Like,
I literally
so
can't
much
think of
unhealthy
anything.
stuff.
I literally can't think of anything that makes my like chest hurt like that triple cheeseburger from Wendy's. I mean, I don't know if you've ever even tried to eat it, but it's just
No.
so fucking big.
I mean, I can think of multiple times in my life. This is a different kind of unhealthy where I have eaten, an entire large bag of candy by myself,
Sure.
or, I ate half of a quarter sheet cake by myself.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah.
But
So you
I-
remember the big like cookie cakes that you can get?
oh yeah.
Oh, dude, I devoured an entire cookie cake before.
Oh my
Like
God,
a-
Wombat.
yeah.
Do you remember?
Same
in
here.
a day.
Do you remember when we worked in Middletown, the cookie place?
Yep. Great American Cookie Company.
And they had
absolutely.
the sandwich cookies, which literally was just like a fucking inch of icing in between two giant cookies.
Yep.
You ever eat one of those? Your teeth just fall out of your mouth.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I used to get two of them.
Oh my God, I could not finish one.
Dude, I'm telling you, when it comes to sugar, I've had to cut dramatically back. But I used to just eat nothing but sugar all the time.
I mean,
Yeah, quite the sweet tooth.
yeah, I was
I
gonna
used to
say
get,
like,
I used to go to like the video store by our house and get a large bag of Jelly Belly jelly beans and like eat the whole thing.
Jesus Christ, how are you not 300 pounds? That's what I want to know.
It's my metabolism was at the time. I mean, I was 128 pounds when I graduated high school.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. But see, the problem now is that your body's like gave up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like you know it when you get older. Like you don't notice it when you're young. Like my son will just eat garbage 24 hours a day, and
Yeah.
like he'll look at me and he'll be like, "Why can't you finish that?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm like 42 and I abused my body
Yeah,
my entire life, so like there's no way that I can eat that."
yeah.
I was like, "You keep going like that, you're gonna be in the same boat."
Yep.
Nothing quite like heartburn at 3 a.m.
Oh Jesus, dude! You wake up with it and it's just like choking you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Fucking getting old sucks.
Ah, the joys of being old.
Yep.
Fucking
Yep.
sucks, dude.
It really sucks. Fucking heartburn sucks ass, man.
Heartburn is the worst. It's just.
Yep. Boy, this turned into an old person's podcast real fast.
We're the geriatric millennials, boss.
I can't.
Right.
I can't help it. Like it's just when I think about like eating, and what the worst part is I know when I'm eating it. I'm like this
Yeah,
this
yeah,
gonna fuck me
yeah.
up.
I'm gonna regret this later.
Oh yeah,
You know.
and you don't care until it happens, and you're like, I'm never eating that again.
Yeah. So there's a local joint close to where we live called the Varsity, which has been around since like the 20s. There's one in Atlanta and there's in Athens, and the one in Athens is closing. And everybody's went nuts over that. So I was like, all right, I got to get the Varsity at least before they close. We waited almost 40 minutes in line.
Yeah.
But we finally got it, and I had two chili cheeseburgers, order of onion rings, and they have this thing called the frosted orange, which is almost like a orange creamsicle
Ooh.
that is like a slushy. It is amazing. I ate all of that, and for about 2 hours, my heart pumped so fucking hard
Yeah.
because and I was breathing heavy the entire time, and the reason why is because my body is pumping as much blood and oxygen to my stomach to try and digest this that the rest of my body was suffering.
Yes, Drew. Yes, this is what happens.
And I then, about 3 hours later, sat down on the toilet and shat a brick. It was actually a brick. I could be a brick mason.
Oh God. I
And I
don't.
was like, well, that's the reason why we don't go to the varsity anymore. But at the time, that was the most delicious fucking meal I've had in a long time.
Dude, that's the
bet it
problem.
was.
That is the problem with this kind of food, is that it tastes so fucking good.
Yeah.
I mean,
I probably shortened my life by a year just by eating that one meal.
But do you want to die happy because you had that delicious set of cheeseburgers? Or do you want to die miserable eating a piece of grass?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Either way, you're gonna die. So
I'm going to die anyway. I might as well, I want to be buried with a quarter pounder of cheese.
I mean, you can say that, but
I
there's a
know,
lot of
I'm
people
just
who could say, like, I'm gonna die anyway, so why not just, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'm being facetious more than anything. Like it's been very hard to give up a lot of the stuff that I loved. At least the quantity of things. You know, when I was a teenager, I could eat a whole large pizza,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
and now I'm lucky to get 2 slices down. You know.
Yeah, after my horrible bout with the stomach virus a couple weeks ago, when I lost about 7 pounds in 3 days, I can't eat pizza right now.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Can't
I had
even,
that.
Can't even think about eating it.
I had food poisoning and wouldn't touch Arby's for like 2 years.
Yep.
So I definitely know that. I know that feeling.
You guys
Can't
may
eat
get
pizza.
this.
Can't drink brown soda right now.
Oh
I
God,
don't-
that's the best soda. Damn.
I have cut out all sodas. I do not drink sodas anymore.
I'm legitimately impressed with that because I've tried and I can't.
You know what's good as a substitute for soda because it's carbonated as well? San Pellegrino flavored water. It's like flavored sparkling water.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
I've been
honestly,
buying a lot of packs of flavors for my water to try to drink more water.
so I drink a lot of
Mio's good
water.
for that.
But I'll tell you what I've actually really got into is the Canada Dry Zero, like ginger
Okay.
ale. I absolutely love that stuff, and it has pretty much nothing in it.
I like the Canada Dry lemonade ginger ale mix that they usually put out around this time of year.
Oh yeah, man, they got that cranberry one that's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know
that's
what
really
it is
good.
about ginger ale, but I can't drink it. Like it just doesn't taste right to me. I'd rather just
I
drink
like
flat
ginger
water.
ale.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about ginger ale. Whenever I drink it, I'm like I can't. I can't
Used to be
drink it.
obsessed with cream soda.
I mean,
Oh yeah, A&W cream soda.
Mm-hmm. A&W cream soda. I used to love the Big Red.
Oh yeah, I still love Big Red.
Yep.
I mean,
Not the only place that you can get it out anymore is like White Castle.
yeah. And then that means you got to go to White Castle though, and you got to smell it.
I love White Castle.
Oh my God, I can't even like when people ask me to get them White Castle. It's literally you have no idea what you're asking of me. Because just the smell that wafts out of the window makes me want to vom.
Really?
Oh man,
Dude,
love White Castle.
onions are my most hated food.
Oh, okay.
If I get a pizza and there's an onion on it from where like they cut somebody's pizza before me, it will make me almost throw up.
No
Man,
onions
you are-
whatsoever?
You
Yeah.
are really missing out.
I can't eat an onion. I can barely be around it. I can't smell it. If I put it in my mouth, it'll make me gag.
Man, you're like my kid in potatoes.
Oh God.
Any
no.
potato, any potato other than a French fry, he can't do it.
I want you to
Really?
know that as an Irishman, I am highly offended by your son's lack of potato love.
Like mashed potatoes or like chopped up and fried potatoes. Nothing. Can't do it.
Oh man.
The potatoes all gratin kind of thing with
Oh no,
cheese.
not a
over it?
chance. No way. He hates cheese too. So
What kind of child is this? Hates cheese? You can't like man. I used to devour string
Hates it.
cheese as a kid.
oh, he'll eat. So here's the thing. This is where it gets a little weird.
It has to be utilitarian.
He likes, or he used to like string cheese. He doesn't like it anymore.
Okay.
He will eat like a grilled cheese sandwich. No
Okay.
problem.
Sure.
He'll eat cheese on a pizza. No problem. But like the concept of sitting down and thinking about the fact that he's going to eat cheese, he won't do it. If the cheese is like blended in with the pizza or whatever, it's fine. But like the concept of eating cheese on a hamburger would completely ruin the hamburger for him.
I'm at a loss, and I'd like to say that it bothers me, but I have a child that will not eat beef,
Oh well.
and he won't eat like macaroni and cheese, like the ultimate child's meal.
What?
He won't eat it.
Yeah. My son didn't eat macaroni and cheese until very recently. Now he's into it again.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you this right now: my son does not like pizza except for one pizza,
What kind is it?
Papa John's.
Oh, okay.
I've let that child have every other kind of pizza there is. Hates it.
My son's favorite's Casanos. That's always his.
Well, your son has
Go-to.
taste.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just kidding. But I'm
With
just
the
like,
exception of the lack of cheese, he has taste.
this is true. But then, like, I sit back and I think about like pizza, and I'm like, even bad pizza is good.
Agreed.
Like pizza is just the universal. Like, there's not a version of it that I won't eat.
Yeah.
Which is why it's weird for me that he won't eat any pizza, but Papa John's.
Yeah.
I've literally
So I gotta
given him Pizza Hut, Casanos, like local joints, fresh made pizza, frozen pizza, nothing.
So, question for you guys. You may get this, you may not. In order to have pizza anytime, where does it need to be?
On a bagel,
On a
motherfucker.
bagel.
Okay, thank Christ. I asked that to some people, and they look at me like, what?
Dude, I still eat bagel bites. What are you talking about?
I haven't had a bagel bite in a very, very long time.
You should order some because they're still really good.
My wife will not let me get bagel bites. She'll be like, get those the fuck out of here.
What the fuck? Your wife will not allow you to buy certain food?
No, she's the one who buys the stuff.
Well, then just go buy yourself a 12-pack of bagel bites.
They make 12 packs of bagel bites?
I mean, I thought that was the small one.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Like, what is it? Like, well, no, it's 9. Sorry, the tray is 3x3. That's what it is. You can buy like the big ones that have like fucking 6,000 bagel bites in them.
What do you think of the pizza rolls?
They gotta be the Totino's,
Yeah, that's the only kind I would imagine.
because like the generic ones taste like ass.
Yeah.
And I used to eat Totino's party pizzas all the time too. That was another.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't eat those anymore. Like I keep trying to eat them. They're like square now. They're not round anymore.
Really?
Yeah, they're square. But like I bought a couple recently to try them out, and I was just like, wow, these suck now.
Yeah, dude, I lived on Totino's party pizzas in college.
They used to be a lot better than they are now. Now they're just not good. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened. They got cheap on the fucking ingredients or something.
You know, it's funny.
To be fair, they were selling them for $1 a piece. So
I mean, they still are. So
There was a frozen pizza. So, all right, I have to preface this. When I had surgery, when I was like 20, I think, I had an infection in one, and the doctor put me on prednisone. Has
Oh.
anybody ever been on prednisone here?
I've not
I have been on
on
prednisone multiple times. Yes.
No, there you
Okay. So prednisone makes you hungry as shit.
Yes, it does.
And I made a frozen pizza. I think it was like, it wasn't even DiGiorno. Cheap frozen
go. It
pizza.
wasn't even DiGiorno. Like that's the high tier.
I thought that was the best fucking pizza I ever had in my life. To this day, it was like, I was like, man, that was so good. That was so good. But no, it
That's
was
the kind of
prednisone.
stuff that prednisone does to you.
Yeah, prednisone makes you starved to death, and it also keeps you up all night long.
Yeah, the thing about prednisone for me is I was on prednisone because my doctor used to prescribe me prednisone when I'd have a sinus infection because it opens you up. And I was on a business trip to Vegas, and I was taking prednisone, and it was my first day of taking prednisone, and I drank a big old cup of coffee and took the prednisone, and I swear to God, I thought my heart was going to come out of my chest. Like,
Yeah, it'll do that.
the combination of caffeine and prednisone was like, I thought I was going to pass out and die right there in the conference room at the Golden Nugget.
All right, well let's wrap this up, and like Drew said at the beginning of the show, it only takes us till we get wound up to start talking about food,
Yeah,
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
true.
and all of us are talking about how food has made our hearts beat out of our chest. So this is always a good time.
Yeah.
So now I'm assuming everybody's hungry, so we're going to get out of here. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at N4G Podcast. You can follow the site at ZTGD Content. You can follow me at ZTGD, Ryan at Wombat RP, and Drew, you are back.
I'm back.
On DML Fury.
DML Fury, yeah. For some odd reason. You want to know what made me try? This is the dumbest shit ever. There was a GIF that I posted a long time ago of an old man who was on a motorized scooter who crashed in through a convenience store doors, and a rack from the store doors wrapped around his neck as he came in. And I wanted to find that GIF again, and I knew I posted it on DML Fury. I found it, and I said, let me try just log in one time. I forgot my password. And it said, okay, here, change your password. I'm like, why the fuck didn't you let me do this a year and a half ago?
Because.
So I'm back on DML Fury. So follow me on at Drew Leachman. I'm going to leave that account open for probably about 2 weeks, and it is going to go.
You should just make it your feet pics Twitter.
Yeah, I could do that. That is my OnlyFans account.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you want more pics, check out Drew Leachman. But I am going to be back at DML Fury, since that's the main account I had the most followers on and stuff like that.
All right. And then, obviously, Phoenix Down going on, Yakuza Kiwami.
Yep. Probably got 2 more episodes of that.
2 more episodes of that, then move on to Assassin's Creed Origins. And then, of course, emails, send them to us, podcasts at ztgd.com. I got a license to Office 365, so now I can monitor that inbox in Outlook, and it is so much cleaner.
Where were you monitoring it?
Google. Not Google for that one. I was actually going to my host's website.
Oh.
Yeah, which is a nasty mess. So I got Outlook, and I literally loaded every email account I have into there, and now it's all in one place, and it's beautiful.
Yep, that's the way I have my Outlook set up too.
Yep. I was using Gmail for a while, and Gmail was... So this sent me down a rabbit hole this week. So I had found out that our site was missing some things that make your emails that you send show up as spam.
Oh, okay.
So I spent 2 days researching how to add SPF and DKIM to our web domain. The joys of having a website.
Fun.
Which, by the way, is the most obscure and ridiculous process I have ever gone through in web development. It makes no sense. But it's done, so we should be good.
Sweet.
Yep.
I don't know what any of that does, so I'm just going to take your word for it.
I'm going to be real honest with you. I didn't either until a week ago.
Sweet.
And I've been doing this for 20 years. All right, that's it for the show this week. Unless anybody has anything else, otherwise we'll get out of here. Very special.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.
Epic fail. Welcome to the N4G Podcast.
It's me, Mario.
$0.
This is going to be a very interesting episode.
Gather time.
Greetings, programs. I got lost trying to find my way to the secret underground N4G Radio lair.
The Wombat. And
I always live being angry.
Killer Wolverine. Play games, not consoles. No fanboys allowed.
And then I killed the dragon.
Killed the dragon.